Okay. Here we are. It is the last stream of the week, and I am live, and we have got news and all sorts. But first, before we get into it, something special. Hey Napper. Hey Steph, how are you? Oh yeah. Hey Prince. Oh. Come on, let's see them djmuel jams. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. He was a proper horrible evangelical misogynist, anti-queer piece of shit. Hey Val, what's up? Yeah, that's right. There you go. Another horrible cunt died. And that's good, isn't it? And that's funny. Didn't people use this crap video when Prince Philip the Queen and Rolf Harris died? Yeah, it's kind of a thing that people do when horrible people died, yeah. That's the whole bit. That's the whole bit. That's the joke. It's not really a joke, it's just a bit of a celebration, innit? You know what I mean? So, yeah, this guy, he was an American evangelical author, psychologist, founder of Focus on the Family, which he led from 1977 until 2010, so kind of gave up when gay marriage got passed. He was ranked in the 80s as one of the most influential spokesmen for conservative social positions in American public life. So he was very, very, very popular in his day. He was probably the Tucker Carlson of his day. So yeah, it's good that he died. Dobson sought to equip his audience to fight in the American culture war, which he called the Civil War of Values. So just like another one of those guys, but in the 80s, right? Anything else interesting about him? During that, this is really funny. People like this make me laugh so much, man. Like, how can you feel comfortable to say something like this? Like, it is just wild. Oh, let's get rid of him. let's get rid of this bozo. Associate clinical professor of pediatrics at the University of Southern California School of Medicine for 14 years. At the University of Southern California, he was exposed to troubled youth and the counterculture of the 60s. He found it a distressing time to be so young. Because society offered him no moral absolutes he felt he could rely upon. We should, you know, we should be wanting to build a better world just because it's going to make people like this feel more and more uncomfortable. Like, that should be our main goal. They should feel more and more unsafe to exist in society. Yeah, you know, here's the next guy. Here's the next thing he did. 1970, Dobson published Dare to Discipline. The book encouraged parents to assert their authority over their children, particularly by corporal punishment. Dobson saw children as rebellious and inherently sinful. Remember this guy now? Haven't heard from him in years, I think. Won't ever hear from him again. Yeah, you won't! You won't! That's true! Nice. Very good. How did he die? James Dobson. James Dobson. Dead. It's a developing story. So I guess we're gonna find out he died in a different way. A statement from the Institute. Hey PBP, how are you doing? Look forward to the Respect the Dead episode on him. Sounds like a right charmer. Beanie Gaby! Why didn't it do the text-to-speech? Why doesn't it do that? Let me remedy that. Thank you for the 2 months. Thank you for the 2 months, Beanie Gaby. That's kind of not true, though, isn't it? Because you subscribed for 3... Oh, no, it is true because you subscribed for 3 months in a row. That's right. Hello, Raven Payne. Do you know about the new... Did it not like that I said piss? Yeah, maybe it did, because subscriptions... How do I do this? Preview?
This is a subscription test.
Yeah, maybe it's because you said piss. Piss! Hi, Nini, how are you? What's wrong with piss? Middle-earth Marxist!
You're in luck.
Thank you for the 2 months. Thank you for the 3 months. 2 month streak. Thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. Enjoy all your new emotes. I can say stuff like that now. Enjoy your ad-free viewing and your emotes. We've got so many emotes that you can enjoy as a subscriber now. So there you go. And also we have a sub goal. If we hit this month's sub goal, which is only 20 subs, because we're more than halfway through the month, we will we'll be doing Trash Bingus next month again. You got that to think about, haven't you? I'll read it out loud. Happy Thursday, cuties, and a very rested piss to that bozo. Oh wait, you didn't hear that. You know, I did. Thank you for the message. And so good news, I'm gonna go to the gym later at 10 p.m. Yeah! Yeah, nice. Don't forget we're doing movie night in the Discord. We're going to watch Children of Men and the Death of Stalin later on tonight. So it's late night video night if you're up for staying up late with us. Most of the Americans won't mind that, obviously. But obviously if you're British, I get it if you've got to go sleep. I get it. I understand. I too like to go to sleep. And it will be a late one, but I just think it kind of makes sense to do movie nights after a stream, because what I used to do was just organize it in the Discord and no one would ever, well, not no one, but like a few people would come compared to how many people would like watch a stream. And also the people, generally speaking, I would find that people would be donating money and then like not turn up to the movie night. And I'm like, there's gotta be a better way of doing this. And I think it's just that we do it after the stream. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? What time is that? That'll be 11 p.m. UK time. And it'll have to be 11 p.m. UK. So in about 3 hours and 10 minutes. Hello, B-Rat. How are you? It's good to see you. What's good? The roll-on's more effective. That's what I mean. It just feels a bit more effective. Just feels a bit more effective than normal. How are you all doing? How's your day been? What have you been up to? An hour before David maybe wakes up? Yep. Yeah. What have you been up to, chat? How's your day been? What have you been doing? I've been working most of the day. I was late by 10 minutes to my job center appointment, and she marked me down as unattended. And I turned up and I was like, hi, sorry I'm late. There was traffic. I had to get a fucking Uber because I was just going to be late anyway. And she was like, don't worry about it. Go home and write why you were late and I'll just tick it off. And I was like, oh, legend. She's getting proper sound with me now. I don't know what it is. But I think after I told her that I stood up for Palestine in my last job, this was like a month and a half ago, she's completely changed her attitude towards me. Like, I think that she now knows I'm not a racist, because like a couple of weeks ago I had some inquiries about filming a nikah, you know, like a Muslim wedding, a nikah, and I told her that because obviously I'm telling her stuff about like jobs that I'm applying for and shit like that, and like how things are going on the stream and this, that, and the other. And she's like, you filmed the nikah, and I was like, yeah. And I think that she's clearly a Muslim. She's got a hijab. And I think that she's realized now that I'm not like a weird racist guy. And she's being nice to me. Which is like, it's crazy to me. She must get people coming in there and being racist to her about, like, saying things like, you're all here working in the government and stopping us from getting money and yada yada yada, right? It's gonna be shit like that, right? It's so bad that she's shocked that you filmed a wedding. Yeah. Well, I get it that she's shocked that I would film a nikah because, you know, filming a wedding is you have to know the kind of beats of a wedding. You know, wedding videography is kind of very specific. You have to have a lot of communication with the bride and groom, figure out exactly what they want. Sometimes there can be a lot of stressful negotiating about price. And I guess she was shocked that I understood kind of the running order of a Muslim wedding, because it's kind of different. It's kind of different to a Christian wedding or just like a non-religious wedding. So, you know, yeah, you spelled it right. It's just the with an H on the end. Is it very different with a nikah? Muslim weddings, it depends. It depends what like sectary, what kind of sect, you know, what kind of culture the person is from. But depending, I think Pakistani nikahs are like there's 3 days. It's over 3 days. And you will have day 1 where all the family members come and they, like, you know, give presents and stuff like that, and they turn up, you know, it's just kind of like a day for everybody to greet and this, that, and the other. And then there's like a feast the next day, there's like the food the next day, and the ceremony, and then the day after, or maybe the day after is the ceremony, I can't quite remember. But it's in one of them orders. It's been a while since I've done one. Yeah, it depends on the branch of Islam. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you might get a different Sunni one, you might get a different Shia one, you might get a different, you know, Sufi one, you might get, like, fucking, you know, Pakistani Sunni might be different from Iranian Shia. Who knows? Just depends. Like, Catholic and evangelicals and Orthodox don't have similar ones beyond few of the key moments. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Hey, it's the More, and welcome back. How are you? Hey up, Duck. Hey up, Duck. Yeah, nifty. It's neat how many wedding traditions there are. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. It's good. Broaden your horizons, you know? Broaden your horizons, innit? So, I think that's why... I think that's why she's being cool with me, because I think it's crazy that I turned up 10 minutes late and she just marked me as unattended, and then, you know, she had like a family there, and she just went, oh, just give me a second, and then, like, leaned over the booth to me and was like, just go home and say that you were late and I'll take it off, it's fine. And I'm like, so I don't even think I'm gonna get sanctioned. I don't even think I'm gonna lose out on any money that I could be losing out on, so... Fingies crossed. But, you know, I do lose a significant amount of money after declaring all this. So remember, chat, that I'm not just, like, on benefits and also getting money off you lot. The money that I get on here, when I declare it to the benefits service, it significantly reduces the amount of benefit that I have. So just important to remember that. I don't want anyone thinking that A, I'm doing benefit fraud, or B, that, you know, I'm trying to, like, scrounge more money out of you. Right? The bright spots between the UK's orphan grinding machine. Yeah, literally just that. It's just so mental. What else have I got to tell you? Not really anything, honestly. Like, I had a big sleep last night. I wasn't watching anything interesting on TV. I was watching Abe's Exodus speedruns. That's it. I've just been working today. You know, working on various bits and pieces. Editing a new video for the stream. This would be the dumbest way to do fraud, posting about it live on the internet. Right, exactly, I know. But hey, listen. Stranger things have happened. Carefuls. So... You know, anyway, I was about to say it. Yeah, that was some mad shit, eh? Some absolute mad shit. Anyway, crazy shit. Yeah, there's some very not bright people out there. I mean, I'm not very bright. I will admit it. I don't have what is called intelligence, i.e., I don't do a lot of reading of theory and philosophy and all that kind of business, right? But I don't think you need to. I think that if you just have an element of wisdom, and this isn't something that I'm saying about me, this is something that people have said about me, which is that I do have wisdom, right? Intelligence is also just made up. Yeah, that's true. That is true. The idea that there's like some kind of intelligence quota, the IQ shit, obviously that's all made up. Neil's got DJ smarts. Yeah, when I see most people's criticism of me, they say that, like, I'm dumb. Right? That's what they say. They say, oh, he speaks like he's dumb. What they really mean is that I speak in a way that most working class people can understand. That most normal people can understand. I'm not talking about, you know, fucking... I don't need to say the stuff that I'm not talking about, because you know what I mean. Like, I do understand concepts like class consciousness, dual power, all this kind of thing, right? There's different kinds of intelligence too. Like, I'm not very good at being social, right? Yeah. Exactly. There's different kinds of things. But yeah, I find it immensely interesting looking at what people think about me. Because people talk about me like I'm some kind of, like, at this point, the kind of people who speak about me on the internet, who know me because of, like, various controversies or whatever, you know, through just, like, saying correct things. Most people kind of view me as some kind of like an intangible, I don't know, like maybe like a cryptid. Like, they think I'm some kind of a cryptid that's not real, not quite real. And they'll say things like, oh wow, like it would be great to, like, get this guy to answer some questions. And it's like, you could come to my stream. You could come to my stream and ask me some questions. I might not answer them, but, like, I'm like a real person that you can interact with. Just like, what are you on about? Yeah, no wonk bullshit here. I speak dumb because I am. Yeah, exactly. And that's just the way that it should be. You don't have to use big words to know how shit works and how shit isn't working. Yep. He answers questions. I just asked about the Nikah. Yeah, exactly. I've been rereading a 100-year-old Slovenian book about working for 40 years on a farm and then being kicked off it. The farm hand then torches the place down in the end. So, you know, ALAB, I guess, is the lesson. Yeah. Treating me like I'm an alien or a ghost. So wacky. Yeah, it's good stuff, innit? Hey, Krill, how are you? Thanks for the lurk. Appreciate you. Yeah. No, it is interesting. It's an extremely interesting online world that we live in. How do you feel about Henry Paget, the 5th Marquess of Anglesey? Is this a joke question? Because I will just Google this person. Henry Paget, 5th Marquess of Anglesey. Sounds like a fucking knobhead. TBH. Tejan! How are you doing? In the years I've known you, I'd feel like if intelligence was real, you're bang average, but you actually just think and apply your thoughts. I hope that's not mean. No, it's not. That's a compliment, genuinely. Genuinely. How are you doing, Tejan? It's good to see you. Who is this? Who is this fucking prick? Who is this Winnet? Uh-huh. In 1900, got the drip. A fabulous knobhead is a valid answer. He's got the drip. Like, this is crazy. What's going on here? This is crazy shit. Died in Monaco. Yeah, of course he did. At 29. Wait, what the fuck's going on there? Henry Cyril Paget, 5th Marquess of Anglesey. Styled Lord Paget until 1880 and Earl of Uxbridge between 1880 and nicknamed Toppy. Was a British peer who was notable during his short life for squandering his inheritance on a lavish social life and accumulating massive debts. Regarded as the black sheep of the family, he was dubbed the Dancing Marquess for his butterfly dancing. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, he was queer, right. Gotcha. Gotcha. He was gay. I see. This was his wife? Sure, man. Whatever you want. That's a bisexual for Palestine. Yep. This is crazy shit. What the fuck? Anglesey. This is so similar to every kind of country house I've ever been to in Wales. That is mad. That is absolutely mad. I feel like I've been to like 3 country houses in Wales that all have this style. It's this grey brick, which must be like, I don't know. Very interesting. gambled away his family fortune, had to sell off all of his properties, and my house was one of them. Yeah, there you go. That's crazy. He had Gaiety Theatre. Look her up. I bet she was a lesbian too. Looks like a lesbian wife photo. What's that style? Edwardian, love it. Hey, Ranch Water Seltzer, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, mental. They were just like, yeah, man, this guy Edward made a gaff, and we're gonna do loads of gaffs like that. Look at his wife. Lillian Florence Maud Chetwynd. She's not got a page. She's not got a page. National Portrait Gallery. Not really much about her. Interesting. No, it is just named after King Edward. Yeah, I know. The era of the time, that's the style of houses that was built at the time of King Edward. She fucking lived for 86 years. So she was married to that guy for like, I don't know, a year or something. Did she not marry again? Yeah, she's queer. Without a shadow of a doubt. Jenny. Ancestry.com. Cousin Fruitcake. Cousin Fruitcake? Paget is my middle name. There's a family connection somewhere. My maternal great-grandmother, who we called Wizzywigs, was a Paget. Maybe there was something in that wacky nickname, for when I researched the Pagets, I found eccentricities aplenty, all far greater than those mustered by my dear old great-gran. And yes, I'll admit I was researching the Pagets of 19th century England after finding a picture in an old family photo album of Grand Downton Abbey-esque estate. I was thinking there must be some money there for a long-lost cousin in the colonies. Yeah, Wizzywigs is fucking killer. What a handle. Very true. I did find a wondrous tale of squandering writ large. It seems the Pagets are sometimes, I think I may have inherited elements of this family trait, made something of a specialty out of spectacular economic disaster. Yeah, we just read about this guy. He didn't consummate his marriage to a cousin. Well, okay. He could be gay. He could be queer, but he could also just be, like, opposed to fucking his cousin. Which is fine. The splendidly named Lillian Florence Maud Chetwynd. She left after 6 weeks and annulled the deal. What else? What else did she do? Nothing. Nothing else. About this woman. What the hell? Wiki tree? It's just gonna be like born and died. Yeah, this is why his story is cringe, right? She lived like 5 times longer than him. What the fuck? He probably got caught doing some gay shit in Monaco and they like shot him or something. Right? This is like turn of the century stuff. 1885 he was born. His story, is that what you were going for? Yeah, I caught that. Well, that's the whole thing, right? His story. History is like his story. And it is just mostly all about men, right? And everyone doesn't want to know about women, but I want to know about women. What the fuck? What's going on? Yeah, she's a lesbian wife, without a shadow of a doubt. That's our canon. That's our canon. He was queer, they were forced to marry, they were cousins. And then they were like, yeah, nah, sack that off, innit? Anyway, thanks for the tangent, Morton. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, it's good stuff. It's Manchester Pride this weekend. And one of my favorite banners has gone up. Chat, some of you will Some of you will remember this. Some of you won't. Some of you will remember this. Some of you won't. I think I've shown this on the stream before. I can't get over this. It's so stupid. So Manchester Pride. Take your bets on if it's corporations or cops. Oh no. It is. Of course, Manchester Pride is very corporate. I did a whole video on it, right? You can go check that out on my YouTube channel. But there's a flag that goes up every year, and it always makes me fucking laugh so much. Here it is. Pride. The pride I feel for you fills me with pride. Tracy, New York, New York. Hands up in chat if you remember me talking about this. Just put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard me talk about this. Or talk about Tracy from New York, New York. Like, you have to remember, this is like, not just where I work, not just where I live, this is my neighborhood, right? If you don't remember me ever speaking about this, let me tell you about this. It's crazy that I've never spoken about this on the stream. But every time, right, first of all, do you not think that this is an incredibly funny statement? The pride I feel for you fills me with pride. Right? Who says that? What kind of person says that, chat? Answers on a postcard. What kind of person do you think Tracy from New York, New York is? What kind of person says that? The pride I feel for you fills me with pride. It feels tautological, right? Explain, elaborate. What does that mean? Mom? Almost. Prince? Almost. It's silly. Lib-coded. That's true. That's true. Got it in one. You got it in one, Raven Payne. Straight. Head teacher aura, yeah. Yeah, she's straight. She's straight. Tracy from New York, New York is the landlady of the pub New York, New York in the gay village, right? She's not gay. She's just a landlady of a pub, right? So for her, pride is about getting as many people into the pub as possible to spend as much money as possible, right? So that's all this. So some of you know I used to work in the village doing photos, right? And you know, in some desperate times I was selling key rings, right? You get 1 ally point every time you say the word pride per sentence. So Tracy from New York, New York. So you remember the key rings, right? So I used to go around and take pictures and sell key rings. And one Pride, I was in New York, New York. In fact, I don't even think it was Pride. I think it was just like a regular weekend. I went into New York, New York, New York. I've been in there plenty of times before. I never really spent too much time in there because I would never really sell that many key rings in there. I don't really know what the crowd... Couldn't really figure out the crowd. They weren't like working class people who would go to New York, New York, and I don't know why. I don't remember the drinks being particularly expensive or anything like that. I just feel like it probably because it's like a straight owned bar, right? That's probably why. And I was taking some pictures. Group of people at a table. Hey guys, yeah, do you want that on a keyring? £5. And they all started laughing. And this one lady went, "Do you know who I am?" And I just went, "Nah," and then just walked off. And then I asked my boss at the end. I was like, "Yeah, this one lady was like, 'Do you know who I am?'" And she was like, "Oh, did she have glasses on? Was she like maybe 40, 50 and had blonde hair?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh yeah, that's Tracy, the owner. She's a bit of a dickhead." And she puts this shit up every year. It's like, what is going on? It's like, she has done some cool shit. I will give her that. She's not like a psycho, horrible weirdo or whatever. She raised like £250,000 for the George House Trust, you know, an AIDS charity in Manchester, which is good. But yeah, you know, I just like people who are like that. I'm just not a fan at all. And also, it's like just this, you know, very, very, very straight comment. It is just giving straight person wanting to make pride about themselves. Like, she signed it. She signed it. She signed this shit. She was like, what I'm gonna do is, as a straight person, I'm gonna put a flag up, a pride flag up, and I'm gonna write on it, pride in big letters, and then a quote from me that I said once. She might not have even said this. She may have never said this. There's no proof. There's no proof. There's no proof that that's what she said. Hi, Dave. How are you? But it's up every week. Yeah, you're welcome, Quiz. You're welcome for me feeling pride about you and it filling me with pride. Yeah, the capitalization is so odd. The pride I feel for you fills me, lowercase, with pride. Is that like a grammatical thing? I seem to remember in English I would get told off for capitalizing W's. Is it a connective? Do connective words not get capitalized? Because I feel like also for would not be capitalized. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Who cares? That's the thing that's up in the village at the minute. And I can't believe it's like live, laugh, love pillows. Yes! Yes, it is. Do you know if there's an unofficial pride this year? Yes, there is. Yes, every year there is. Alt Pride. A friend in Rochdale that might want to go. Gotcha. She's saying she's proud of herself. Yeah! I usually do that, but I was just emphasizing the I and the me of the thing. No, you're right. That's why I got a little bit wrapped up in the lettering, because I was like, whoa, what does that even mean? You know? What's going on there? Crazy. Wow, I'm such a good person. Pat self on the back. It's just egotistical, isn't it? It's really egotistical. That would be like me putting my "This Bisexual Stands with Palestine" placard out every year. It'd be like if I put that outside my gaff every year at Pride. It's like, I'm not that important. You know? I don't know. It's just... And I have actually more of a right to be saying something like that than she does. Yeah, it feels performative. It would be like if I signed it with my name. That's the crazy bit. That's the crazy part of this that I can't get over. How are you, Sorka? You're right. I'm just trying to... Oh, look, I gotta show Sorka this. I feel... This is the last time I'm showing it. This is the last time I'm showing it. Sorka, basically... I'm telling people about one of my favorite pride flags that goes up. It's Manchester Pride this weekend. And one of my favorite pride flags is already up, right? It's already up. And this is what it is, yeah? Pride, the pride I feel for you, fills me with pride. Tracy from New York, New York. Who's Tracy from New York, New York, you ask? She's the landlady of a pub called New York, New York. Is Tracy queer, do you ask? No, she isn't. That's what we're talking about. It's very funny. Just thought I'd just catch you up. I thought you might appreciate it. Yeah, it's good. It's a nothing quote. Yeah. Wait, where are my subs gone? Wait, what's happening? Wait, chat, did I get... Wait, what is happening? She has to put the pub name too to advertise. Exactly, that's what I mean. Who gives a shit what you're proud of, sis? If it wasn't already very clear that she was straight from the quote, yeah. Chat, I'm certain that I started yesterday. Right. This is all wrong. This is all wrong. This number right here is wrong. I don't understand why this isn't working. So yesterday, when I started the sub goal, we had Krilltacular, 1, 2, 3, and then Vord with 1, so that's 4 subs, and then Krill with another one, that's 5, and then Krill with another 2 gifted, so that's 7. So that's 7 where we're at now. 7 there. And then Krill gifted 5 community subs, so that is 12, so we should be at 12. And then today we've had... Oh no, Fighterjet came in last night and resubbed, so that's 13. And then we got Beanie Gaby today. And then Middle-earth Marxist, so we're at 15. We're at 15. Why does this not fucking work? It's not Twitch, it's Streamlabs. Why the fuck did that just, like, not work? What do you mean? What do you mean? Let me just fix it real quick. Widgets. First of all, it's very funny that it's called widgets, right? I'll still blame Twitch. Yeah, fair enough. That's fair enough for you, isn't it? Right. 15. We are at 15. And the goal is 20. Chat, we only need another 5 subs. Excuse me, it's probably not counting stuff right. Maybe ignoring community gift subs, even though those have been around forever. Yeah, that's true. Streamlabs tracking has been a bit wank today. I don't know if they're having server issues. I mean, it was bad yesterday as well, and it's the first time I've ever... Like, the dono goal is fine. Like, we didn't have any issues with the dono goal yesterday. Maybe it's because... I'm thinking maybe it's because I switch between scenes. Let me try this. Okay, well that didn't make a fucking difference. Maybe it's because I don't have the sub goal on here. Maybe I should have the sub goal on the other stream, on the other page. And then hopefully that won't... Let me just try that. Just one sec. Paste. Paste reference. Right, whatever, you're there. I can just put you in the same place as the fucking... as the dono goal. And then, like, move you, I guess. You know what I mean? And then just, like, put it underneath the dono goal. And then it can just be there, and then, you know, we can switch between. Like, if we hit the dono goal, we can switch over to the sub goal, yada, yada, yada. Whichever I wanna prioritize. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. Okay. I could have sworn the 2 blue bars were closer together at the start of the stream today, but I might be imagining. Oh, what? You mean... Yeah. No, they were. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It, like, for some reason, earlier, the sub goal went down to, like, what was it, 7? And before that, it was, like... 12 last night. It must have been 12 last night, because we've had 3 subs today. 3? 2? No, 2. Because, yeah, so I think it was 13. Mental. Anyway, whatever. Hello, my dog Idaho. How are you doing as well? Welcome in. It was at, like, 9. Yeah, that's what I mean. Right, so 9... 13, gift sub. No, because it was tracking gift sub. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Like, platform settings, it says events... subscriptions, resubs, sub gifts, prime subs, members, and gifted members on YouTube. But obviously, I'm not on YouTube. I don't know. Who cares? Whatever. I've probably fixed it. It's probably all right now. All right, chat. We got a bunch of stuff to get through. I am going to run real quick and just grab my lip balm. I won't be 2 seconds. Okay. I just finished 3D printing my first earrings, so feeling pretty happy. Hell yeah, my dog Idaho. That rocks. What did you 3D print them with? Okay. All right. We're going to go into the news, chat. We're bringing it in. It's starting. We are starting this shit. Okay. First up. Where are we at in the UK right now? Where are we at? So, Lucy Connolly has been released from prison. She served 11 months of a 31-month sentence, got released on good behavior, because of course she did. What did she get arrested for? This tweet, during the fascist riots down in the UK last year, she said, mass deportations now. Set fire to all the fucking hotels full of the bastards for all I care. While you're at it, take the treacherous government and politicians with them. I feel physically sick knowing what these families will now have to endure. If that makes me racist, so be it. Right? Look, I'm an anti-carceral guy. But there kind of has to be consequences for saying shit like this. Right? There kind of has to be... It does make her racist, yeah. Yeah. Bingo. Bingo, actually, it does make you racist, Lucy. Well done. By the way, this is the wife of a Tory councillor. So... there has to be consequences for something like this. You can't just, like, keep saying shit like this. You can't just be like, we should kill migrants and politicians who love them, right? Mental. And the government doesn't even like migrants. Like, they deported so many migrants last year. It's crazy. So anyway, she's been released from prison. And of course, all the fascists are yelling about, two-tier policing and this, that, and the other. I got into an argument with one. I don't even know why I wasted my fucking time. It was just pissing me off so much. He was just saying shit like, oh yeah, after Black Lives Matter, everyone set fire to everything and nothing happened to them. Nobody did that in England. Nobody did that in the UK. They are like mixing up the US and the UK. And then I was, so they were like, oh yeah, sweet, like they did. Do you not remember they took the statues down? And I was like, yeah, okay, that one thing happened and all 4 of those people who did that got arrested. So now what? And they're like, and then their response was, oh, they didn't get 11 months. And it's like, yeah, because they didn't threaten to kill anyone. What are you on about? What are you talking about? The people that did that in the US were cops? No, that's not true. That's not true. There were people who burnt down buildings and shit. And I'm never gonna like sit here and be like, nah, it was the cops, they were inciting things and yada yada yada. I think it's good. I think it's good that people burnt shit down. I think that that's what you do, right? If you're fucking raging against the machine, that's a riot, as long as there's no one in the buildings, which there weren't. It was the cop shop, right? Setting fires, many of them were cops, proven. Okay, well I've heard a lot of people say that stuff and a lot of people debunking that. And I don't know where we get by like saying that what people were doing were just like cops. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I heard that there was a lot of discourse about people, cops infiltrating protest movements and smashing things, Yeah, I do believe that there are some cops who pose as protesters wrecking shit. I do believe that, 1000%. Of course I do. What I believe more is that they're more likely to be agitators. There are more likely to be plainclothes police officers who are trying to get people to do violence, like person-on-person violence, right? Not that, like, violence against objects is actually violence. Anyway, long and short of it, who cares, right? As long as you're not, like, demanding people be killed. So, where else are we up to? Yeah, entrapment shit. Yeah, they do it all the time, right, Alejandra? Also, hi, I don't know if I said hi to you. We've also got Ofcom, so this is the literal regulator of communications, the regulator of the media in the UK. Ofcom refusing to investigate GB News over a call to shoot and starve disabled benefits claimants. This is where we are at. Let's have a quick... Oh my god, this has got a slur in it. I'm not gonna... Okay, hang on a minute. Let me see if I can, like, redact that. Okay, I'll just read this bit without that bit showing on the stream for now. Britain's broadcasting regulator is refusing to investigate GB News over comments about starving and shooting disabled benefits claimants, or another program in which one of its presenters used the slur T-slur to describe trans people. An Ofcom bulletin released this week revealed that the regulator received 96 Ofcom complaints over the broadcast segment on benefit claimants in June. GB News presenter Patrick Christys told viewers welfare needs to be cut before asking the guest, purported comedian Lewis Schaffer, how he would get them off their backside. Schaffer replied, just starve them. If that's what people have to do, that's what you've got to do to people. You can't just give them money. He added, what else can you do? Shoot them? I mean, I'd suggest that, but I think it's maybe a bit strong. Christys responded, yeah, it's just not allowed these days. These days, if you say... Oh, there's another fucking slur on there. Sorry, gang. Just give me a hot minute. This is bizarre, this bit. Ofcom has also revealed that it decided against investigating a segment where the former Loaded editor turned GB News presenter Martin Dobney. So Loaded, by the way, was a disgusting misogynist magazine that basically treated women like sex objects. So that's the guy that we're referring to here, Martin Dobney, used the T-slur on the 2nd of July. The presenter asked the guest, I'm assuming the notion of dropping Winnie Churchill on the banknotes to replace him with a T-slur fills you with repulsion. They're just saying this on GB News. Are your officials trained by the IOF too? Because it sounds like shit from the IOF. Yeah. Yeah, they must be. It comes after a prominent... Let me just see if there's another slur in here, because I don't want to show that on screen. It's just crazy. It's just crazy that they've included this in the article. Actually, Byline Times. If you're listening, please don't just print slurs in your fucking articles. Anyway, all right. It comes after prominent BBC and Channel 4 journalist Michael Crick accused Ofcom of letting GB News get away of murder during a debate on the channel on the 14th of August. Crick called for the heads of Ofcom, Michael Grade and Melanie Dawes, to be fired. He told the station, I think it's outrageous the way Ofcom, and I've said this many times on your channel, lets you get away with murder. We all have to operate under Ofcom. Michael Grade and... We all have to operate under Ofcom, who've basically gone to sleep on the job. They're incompetent, they've no longer got any decent leadership, and they've changed the rules for channels like you without any public debate. The journalist told the host, you're a propaganda channel, not a news channel, and Ofcom should have done something about this. He's also complained about the prominence of reform on GB News. Commenting on Ofcom's inaction over the spate of anti-disabled and anti-trans attacks on GB News, Richard Wilson, director of Stop Funding Hate, has said Ofcom's repeated failure to do its job is putting disabled people and trans people at risk. Hate in our media leads to hate crime in our streets. Yet when a robust and effective regulator is most needed, Ofcom's leadership seems to have effectively suspended the rules they are tasked with enforcing. In doing so, they have enabled a surge of media hate which is causing grave harm in communities across Britain. So there you go. Here's what Ofcom said. All regulated broadcasters must comply with our broadcasting rules. We enforce these rules fairly and proportionately, acting independently and impartially at all times. Wrong! Lie! They just lie! It's cool! It's cool. Yeah, this is just state approved. It's like state approved. Everything that GB News says is state approved. That's essentially what it is, yeah. Our broadcasting code takes account of the right to freedom of expression and enables broadcasters to take different editorial approaches to their services, including broadcasting from a particular stance or viewpoint, provided that they comply with the relevant rules. Yeah, sure, man. That's good regulator stuff. Meanwhile, we've got this person who is an asylum seeker who lives at the Bell Hotel in Epping that they have the Fash that they've been protesting. Well, they've been trying to do a pogrom against for the last fucking month. Let's hear what this person has to say.
How was it being in the hotel when you saw the violence outside and the protesting?
Yeah, scary, like that's the only word to describe it, scary. Nowadays it's a bit calm, but in the beginning it was so violent, you know. A lot of guys took some beating, you know, in the beginning. It's scary. Now it's just, it's an emotional thing now rather than a physical thing. It's just painful, emotionally painful now.
Have you got a message to the residents of Epping and the local area?
Yeah. I would say please give us a second chance. Please treat us the same way you treated us before the incident, because we are the same people. Before the incident, you didn't view us as you know, criminals or anything. You were okay with us before the incident took place. We are the same people. One person doesn't change us. What one person does not, you know, represent us or what we are. You know. That's what I want to say to them.
And a message about having to move. Do you want to move?
Please, I say, please don't move us, because if you move us, everyone else will want to do the same to us.
Yeah, pretty good that ITV broadcasting things from the most vulnerable people in our society there. How much effect it will have, I don't know, because they don't really do a lot of reporting like this, do they? And they're overwhelmingly biased, just like most of the UK media. Hello, Eric, how are you? Funny how the BBC wouldn't broadcast Kneecap live from Glastonbury, so much for freedom of expression. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's just nonsense. They're just chatting rubbish. So that's what we got. In the meantime, there are various different leadership races going on in different parties, organization of different parties that are supposed to be the opposition to this. Now, I've spoken about Zach Polanski on the stream before and how much I rate him. This is Ellie Chowns, who is another Green Party leadership hopeful. Most of you probably haven't heard the rhetoric that Ellie Chowns engages in. Let's have a listen and see what she says about asylum seekers being housed in hotels.
Asylum seekers should be housed in hotels. They don't offer protection. They don't give refugees access to community facilities. And of course, it is very expensive. But this is the legacy, as your package then just pointed out, of years and years of mismanagement under the Conservatives. Now, Labour have said that they want to end this by the end of this Parliament, but that isn't fast enough. And what we need is, first of all, the provision of safe and managed routes for those seeking asylum, the fast tracking, especially of those who are coming from places where it's completely obvious that they're fleeing violence and that their applications will be granted, and a much faster approach to processing applications overall. Asylum seekers should...
Yeah, I don't think Ellie Chowns has any understanding of the asylum process. And if you speed it up, if you try and speed it up, you will simply end up with lots of mistakes and lots of people who are simply just deported. Like, does she not understand that housing people in hotels, housing asylum seekers in hotels, happens because the Home Office has a huge backlog of processing asylum seekers? That is why that happens. And it is because it is not something that the government cares about doing properly. So they're not bothered. The only thing that they care about is how many of them that they can actually just deport and reverse. So Yeah, Ellie Chams has also said some pretty vile anti-trans stuff. She's also said she believes that the Supreme Court ruling about trans women should be honoured. And she probably does today's mistakes are tomorrow's opportunities to criticise the next government when Labour gets their ass kicked. Hey, PM Triox. You think that she does understand the asylum process? And she's just being willfully ignorant of it? Anyway, possibly. You're probably right. She said some pretty vile anti-trans stuff as well, along with her running mate. I can't remember what that guy's name is. Adrian Ramsey, I think his name is. The only choice for the Green Party is Zach Polanski. If you're a member of the Green Party, I fully believe she's purely a Machiavellian psycho. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, gotcha. The only, you know, the only person you should be voting for if you are in the Green Party is Zach Polanski. He's the only person who's got good, decent, progressive politics and an eco-socialist vision for the party. Absolute nightmare. We've got another potential opposition leader. A lot of people refer to your party as Jeremy Corbyn's party. And I think that that's kind of misogynist because Zara Sultana has been key in organising it, in announcing it. I remember the first thing that she said about the trans ruling was that she wanted the Green Party to avoid being sued. Yeah, good. Yeah, normal fucking normal thing to say. As a Green Party member, I voted for Zach and also Muthan Ali for deputy leader. Same. I did as well. I joined the Green Party just to vote for Zach. Yeah, Zara's been more proactive in promotion. Yeah, heard little from Corbyn, way more from her. Yeah, the whole idea of it being your party is for it not to be based around one person. I mean, there will be a leader because there has to be a leader in parties in the UK. You know, otherwise they won't be accepted as a proper political party and shit like that. You have to have a leader of the opposition. You have to have shadow cabinet if you're the majority opposition. Yada yada yada. So of course there will be all that stuff that needs to be organised. But let's hear what Zara Sultana is saying.
I'm at the Beautiful Days Festival here in Devon, and I'm at the Rebel tent signing people up to join your party.
Legend.
Millions of pounds invested.
Chat, she's just at a festival. This is like today. She's just at a festival signing people up for the party.
And that tell us this is impossible, what we're saying is fanciful, we're dreaming too hard. But they said the same to the people that fought for the NHS. They said it will never happen. They said the same to women who fought for the right to vote. It will never happen. Dream on. They said this to every single progressive cause.
Come on!
In our history.
Come on!
Never happen.
Come on!
We need to remember that.
Thanks for giving some hope.
That means a lot. That means a lot, honestly. People are sick of the mainstream political parties. They're sick of getting a rotten deal from consecutive governments, and they know that the moment is now for us to harness, to build something different that is member-led, that has democracy at the heart of it, and we've got an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah, legendary.
For our communities and for our class.
Yeah, come on!
Something special, and we're going to change British politics forever.
Yes! 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 Yeah, that just gets me so hyped, honestly, genuinely. She has fighting energy, always liked Zara. She's just been consistently the best politician for a long time. That one of the best MPs for a long time, right? I'm hyped for you. Yeah, I mean, look, you know, it's the same kind of hype that, you know, I have for like Zoran Mamdani in winning the New York primary for mayor. It's just like one person, and it's great that just like one person is doing it, because once there is an avalanche of support for people who just like literally promote the bare minimum, you know, the bare minimum of social safety nets, everyone will be like, yeah, sick, that's great, we should just do that, we should just support that. All right, Raven, no worries. Yeah, she's like an aggressive Corbyn. She literally, I said this about this on the stream yesterday. She literally threatened to sue. She literally threatened to sue in when someone said that she was anti-Semitic. I was gutted that she was stuck in labor, overjoyed when things changed. Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I'm overjoyed that she and Jeremy Corbyn and other members of your party have said that they will probably ally with the Greens. You know? Can I vote if I'm a UK citizen but live in another country? I think you can, yeah. I think you can do a postal vote. Is that not true? All the fucking expats in Spain do it, right? I'm pretty sure you could do that. I think you just have to apply. Just go on the gov.uk website. But you don't have to worry about that for like another 4 years because there's not going to be a general election in 4 years. I think that Keir Starmer is going to like hold on really fucking hard, like really tight to this fucking leadership. Yeah, because he just loves money, innit? You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's going to be calling a general election anytime soon. And if he did, it would be crazy because Reform would just get in because they're just leading in the polls right now. I voted Green last year. Yeah, same. Yeah, I did as well, Nap Taker. Okay. So, we've got a little bit of that. That's good. What else have we got here? We got the UK government. Now, this is crazy, chat. This is crazy. I saw this when I was on the bus on the way back from the job centre. The UK government is reportedly set to sign a multi-billion-pound contract with Elbit Systems, Israel's largest weapons manufacturer. If the £2 billion deal goes ahead, it would see Elbit Systems train up to 60,000 British soldiers a year. Yeah, from what? Like, where? Where are you getting them from? 60,000 British soldiers a year from where, dude? Like, from where? You know, this would be, like, crazy. You know, obviously this would be bad because it's giving Elbit Systems money, but it would be so funny in the long run. Because what we're seeing in Gaza is not good military training, right? And particularly, Elbit Systems are already training the UK in Israeli-style tactics of tank warfare. Now, chat, what do we see the most of on the Resistance Report with John Elmer? What do we see the most of Al-Qassam being successful at? It's blowing up tanks, isn't it? They're very good at blowing up tanks. I'm not sure that giving an Israeli weapons company money to train your soldiers is a good idea. I think that giving your money to an army that does stuff like this, I found it, by the way. Do you remember when we were looking for it? I found it. I did a recording. I did like a clip of my own stream of it. Do you remember this shit? How do I make that bigger? Goofy as hell. And you remember, chat, you remember why when we found out why they teach their army to load the gun like this? Is it to emit pheromones? No, it's so they stop shooting themselves and their comrades in the foot. Can't hear your clip, by the way. Sorry, you're right. You can't, can you? Where does that come out? Yeah.
Holding the weapon. I'm cocking the weapon.
What the fuck are you talking about? What are you on about? Like, what I do is I pull the gun up and around. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy, chat. I still can't believe it. Up and around. And Like, literally every other normal person, when you draw a gun out of a holster, it's at your side like that, you pull it up, and as you're pulling it up, you go, and it's done. It's one fluid movement. And they're shooting their own feet because they put their finger on the trigger as they draw the gun. Mental. It's just mental shit. Like, they don't know what they're doing. It's crazy. His little pinchy finger pose before he starts. It's so mental. It looks like Metal Gear and JoJo's. No, that would be cool. He looks like a fucking pedophile. He looks like a pedophile pretending he knows how to use guns. You know? I've never held a gun. That's what I mean. I've never held a gun and I know this stuff. It's mental. This training alone proves that, quote, if Israel wanted to eliminate Hamas, they would have, end quote. Talking point is just plain wrong. Yes. Yes, literally. Yes, literally. It's just crazy. It's fucking crazy. Hey, Johnny, how are you? Wacky races, Looney Tunes style special forces training. British cops about to start breaking out the Israeli elbow drawer. You got like these fucking bots out here, and you know that it's a bot because this fucking bot's name is literally Lean for Israel. Insane, completely mental. Let's read this. So, another great Lucy Jackson article. She's great. We've read stuff from her before. Do you know what? I'm gonna follow her on Twitter. Hey, Doggo Dog, what's up? Can't they just teach them not to point the gun at their feet when they reload, maybe at the ground? Well, the main thing, yeah, I mean, well, there's that, right? But also the other main thing is maybe teach them to not draw the gun with their finger on the trigger. Like, draw the gun in a normal way, lock it, and then you put your finger over the trigger, ready to fire. Because it makes sense, right? If you pull a gun out with your finger on the trigger like that, and you go like that, you're like pulling on the gun, you're pushing on the gun, and then it comes back, and it might come back a bit fast, and you might hit the trigger. Anyway, whatever, who cares? Fucking idiots. The Labour government is reportedly close to signing a major multi-billion-pound contract with Israel's largest weapons manufacturer. The £2 billion deal goes ahead. It would see Elbit Systems train 6,000 British soldiers a year. Elbit Systems provides around 85% of the Israel's drones and land-based military equipment. The arms firm has played a major role in supplying Israel with weaponry for its genocide in Gaza, which has killed more than 62,000 Palestinians. The company's UK wing, Elbit Systems UK, is close to winning a major contract that will make it a strategic partner of the Ministry of Defence. Elbit is reportedly bidding against Raytheon for the Army Collective Training Service contract after the Ministry of Defense reduced the bidders to 2 in February. I hate to be doing like leftist who is the better weapons manufacturer here, but they would be stupid. They would be stupid to go with Elbit Systems. Like, I cannot. The only reason that this is happening is because of the Israeli lobby. It has to be that, right? Wait, hang on. An interesting story from 3 years ago. The Ministry of Defense has ejected Elbit from a contract worth $160 million to deliver Dreadnought crew training and is negotiating the departure of Elbit from a $123 million contract for Project Selborne Royal Navy training, stating that Elbit now falls short of operational sovereignty standards for the UK's highest priority capabilities. That's what I fucking mean. This was the fucking Tory government. The Tories. The Tories were like, nah, dog, you don't know what you're fucking doing. The Tories were like, we know war. Sorry, we know war. We've just bombed the shit out of Syria. Not happening. You're not having our contracts, man. But Keir Starmer is just like, yeah, actually, I think it would be really good. I think it would be very good, actually, if we gave the contract to Elbit Systems. Not because I love money. I can't even do his fucking voice anymore. Not because I love money. Because the British people love Israel. That's what it is. Everyone in Britain loves Israel. Right? If Elbit wins the contract, it will work with the Ministry of Defense to transform military training through digitalization, simulation, a different relationship with industry by changing how and where the military trains. Military training through digitalization simulation. It is going to fail so badly. Honestly, genuinely, if the projection, right, if what Keith Starmer is worried about actually comes to fruition, which is that Russia might invade the UK at some point in the future, do you think that 60,000 soldiers trained in simulations and AI is going to work? Like, what do you want about? What do you mean? What are you talking about? This is not a serious leader. This is not a serious government. It is a government that loves money and particularly loves the fucking Israel lobby money. Particularly. Hey, Apple Chips, what's up? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. National understands that the competition for the award is still ongoing and no agreement has yet been reached. You're better off letting him play COD. Literally. The death of the Empire is going to happen seemingly apropos of nothing when all this suddenly dramatically and inevitably collapses in on itself like a house of cards made of crisps. Sorka, that is an incredible chat message, and you're right. They love scams. They love money. Keir, like, listen, I've thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. You know, we're a year into Keith Starmer and Yvette Cooper, David Lammy, Wes Streeting, Rachel Reeves, all these like horrible, psycho, neoliberal, fascist bastards. And I'm like, they just love money. There is no other way to think about what they do. They just love money. There's no other way to think about it. I don't even think they are ideologically bound to anything. They're just like, what will make us the most money? They probably got into office and Keir Starmer was probably greeted with a bunch of aides sat down going like, you know, like, what's it called? The Thick of It. It would have been like a scene from The Thick of It. And, you know, all the aides would have been like, yeah, so Keith, basically, the empire is falling apart and you're in charge of the financial organ of the empire. So we got to do some forensic politics, yeah? We got to do some forensic politics. By the time Putin gets here, global warming and AI will have killed us all. No, I don't think that's true. I don't think any of that's true. I don't think Putin's going to kill us. I don't think global warming is going to kill us. I don't think AI will kill us. I think that the most that will kill us will be fascism turned inwards as the empire collapses. I think that's the thing that will kill us the most. And I don't think it'll wipe all of us out. I do think that there will be a resistance to it. I genuinely, like, yeah, I think that the Putin scenario is the most unlikely, especially for the UK. And I think that, you know, stop dooming chat. Oh, well, be fair, my dog. It was just one chatter. Everything is going to collapse, but life will go on. We will organize. People will organize, and there will be what humans have always done, which is collective understanding and people realizing that actually we've got more in common than we have that separates us. And yeah, there will be, you know, even if it comes to the point where they're trying to do apartheid in the UK, and it's going to be like Children of Men, which we're going to watch after the stream tonight, we will just end up continuing, and there will be revolts. There will be, like, if they do put people in ghettos, you know, they're already putting migrants in migrant hotels. If it gets worse and it becomes like ghettoized enclaves and shit like that, there will be uprisings. There will be people who resist, and there will be people who, from the outside, help them resist. You know, it's that, right? Fascism does end, but the end is always messy. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not denying that. No, you don't need to apologize, my dog. It's all right. You didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, yeah, you know, I understand the sentiment. Doomerism sucks, but it was just one chatter, and Doggo Duck is pretty sound. So the National understands that the competition for the award is still ongoing. No, it's not been reached. Albert Sisters is one of the major targets for Palestine action. Correct. On July the 1st, activists blocked the entrance to the firm's factory in Bristol, England, where they covered the building in red paint to symbolize Palestinian bloodshed. Activists in Scotland have also targeted Elbit Systems. In May, 2 companies linked to the weapons for manufacturer Allianz and BNY Mellon were sprayed with red paint by Palestine Action. Since the prescription order came into effect, membership of or support that out. Yeah, we know all this. Anything else about the Ministry of Defense thing? Yeah, here's the thing. Since 2023, Elbit's UK arm has run the Ministry of Defence's Project Vulcan, a 57 million contract of simulation-based training for tank crews. This is what they are doing with IOF soldiers. They are getting recruits in, and they are doing VR training with tank crews. And then, of course, naturally, they come up against actual combat, and they get murked. They get murked. You know? So, there you go. Apocalypses stop tracking with reality when they're a dead end. A lot of the ways the death of capitalism will be apocalyptic, but it can be in a good way. Yep. That's why they suck so bad. In the video you showed. Absolutely. That is absolutely it. Like, if we... You know... Watch the resistance reports. I cannot recommend the Electronic Intifada enough. Like, if you are dooming out, especially about Gaza, watch the resistance reports, because you will be like, oh my god, they are starving, they have to make their own weapons, right? And they are still fighting and winning, right? They're not winning to prevent the genocide. That's obviously an incredibly horrific crime against humanity that is ongoing, but they are winning against the army. Like, the army thinks that it's in a war against Hamas. When they're bombing from the air, they're bombing civilians. They're like, yeah, we just killed 50 Hamas. We just killed 100 Hamas, right? All nonsense. But there are actually infantry battalions on the ground whose job it is to try and fight Qassam, Sarai al-Quds, Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. You know? Yeah, they're taking more prisoners of war. They're inflicting heavy losses, huge equipment damage, 20,000 troops removed from the battlefield. Israel has now, completely withdrawn from Gaza. There is 1 battalion left in Gaza, and they are mostly trying to establish a base in Khan Yunis. And we saw what happened yesterday in Khan Yunis, and we're going to get onto that in a bit. But anyway, that's pretty much it on this story. The magazine added that the Ministry of Defense did not respond. So Private Eye, this is Private Eye. They asked the Ministry of Defense if it would be appropriate to give a company so involved with the Gaza war such a major contract. Ministry of Defense spokesperson told The National, like many European allies, the UK sources defense components from a range of international suppliers based on operational requirements, value for money, and compliance with our security and legal obligations. With all suppliers subject to rigorous... the contradictions are just like... You cannot read this. A Ministry of Defense spokesperson said, don't worry, we're extremely scrupulous on the legal nature of people that we engage in awarding government contracts to. And it has been proven that Elbit Systems is supplying weapons for a genocide. So, you know, compliant with our security and legal obligations is just a lie. I agree, PM. I'm thinking that is what's going to happen. They're winning in these conditions. Just imagine if the IOF supplies dried up. We'll be getting to that. We'll be getting to that in a minute. Okay, so there is the UK news for now. Is this not just an excuse to give them more money? That's what I'm saying, Dave. I think it's genuinely because the Israeli lobby is like, listen, you need to protect Elbit Systems' interest. Like, think about the corruption that happened in the Tory government with PPE contracts, all the corrupt contracting stuff that happened, which was basically just cronyism. There were lobbying groups who were coming to the Conservatives. Big Tory donors were being awarded government contracts. That is exactly the same as what's going on here with the Elbit Systems and the Israel lobby and Labour. That's all that it is. It's literally all it is. We got like, millions of pounds in public defense spending that we are happening and that we have, and we're gonna give it to Elbit. We're gonna give it to Elbit because Elbit are great and we love them. All right, we're doing a little bit of Fashwatch. It's good to see what they're saying, right? We gotta know what the enemy is saying. We got Marjorie Taylor Greene here. I saw someone quote tweet this and say that she's cooking. Let's have a read. The last time I read something that she wrote, I lost my mind. Okay? Not in the way that you might think. MTG says, 2 recent decisions made by the State Department both involve children. We need to be the America that allows war-torn children to come here for life-saving surgeries, and the America that never releases a foreign child sex predator that our great LEOs caught. But in this circumstance, those war-torn children are from Gaza, and this foreign child sex predator is from Israel and works directly from Netanyahu. Go on. Let me guess. Would it be anti-Semitic to drag Netanyahu's cyber executive director back and prosecute this piece of shit to the full extent of the law, and at the same time let Palestinian kids who had their limbs and bodies blown apart receive surgeries in America? I'm not saying bring in refugees or use taxpayer dollars, not at all, but when did America's heart grow so cold to refuse innocent children? Is this a fake account? It's the real account. I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. Mental. Privately funded surgeries when they return home after they recover. Wouldn't we allow Israeli children if they were the ones needing surgery, or war-torn children from any other country? The most concerning question is, when and how did America become so subservient to Israel that we immediately release a child sex predator after arrest with a 100% locked up case with evidence and let him fly off back home to Israel? Would we do that with a Mexican child sex predator, Chinese child sex predator, any other country's child sex predator? I know God does not discriminate in his love for children. Why would we? What? It is embarrassing. Outflanking the Dems on this very easy issue. Very, very easy. It's very, very easy. It's so very easy. Worst person you know is right alert. Yeah, but listen, Apple Chips, the mad thing about MTG is that this is the second time that she's been right. The second time that she's been right. We know why she's saying it. She absolutely is probably someone who genuinely hates Jewish people. But I don't think it changes the fact that I think you're right, Krill. I think she knows which way the wind is blowing. I think that Israel is going to collapse. I think that she knows that the empire is going to fall down. I think it's crazy because I think most people just wrote her off as like not being savvy. I genuinely think that someone must have stopped paying her or something. I don't know. Maybe. If Marjorie Taylor Greene ends up socialist, things are happening in her head. Maybe Trump is terrible for workers, children, and women. I mean... The thing that is crazy to me is that she was a QAnon mum, right? That's who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. She's a QAnon mum. She got elected to the House of Representatives on like a campaign that was funded by a bunch of Republican psychos. And now, while he's in power, she is seeing the way that things are going and going, hang on a minute. I thought that you were going to drain the swamp, but you're doing all this stuff. You're doing all this stuff that the fucking Democrats are doing, right? Mental. Absolutely mental. It's just like, what is happening? She's Karen enough to probably turn on Trump if it keeps her in a current job. Yeah. I mean, I'm not crazy on, on the word Karen when talking about, well, I just think the word Karen has just evolved into like kind of like an acceptable misogyny. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. She would probably be willing to turn on Trump 1000%. Hello, Tariqa Bori. How are you doing? This is the problem with letting random cult members into the government. They might not be in all the approved cults, like Zionism, for instance. Yep, this is it. This is it. All the QAnon shit is a grift, so what happens when the money dries up? Yep. Yep, I think you're right. I think you're right. what's going on here? What happened to the tweet? What happened to the tweet? That's just my argument with Thingy. Anyway, okay, whatever. All right, we got some GB News shit. Content warning, these people might say a slur and it won't get edited because it's GB News. I cannot cope. I cannot breathe. Please tell me this is a sketch. How does one end up like this? Let's see what this is. Brits take over Benidorm. GB News visits British holiday makers in Benidorm as they enjoy the sun.
You decide to come and live in Benidorm?
You'll probably edit it out because there's too many foreigners in the UK.
Honestly.
Oh my God.
Did you decide to come and live in Benidorm?
You'll probably edit it out because there's too many foreigners in the UK.
Honestly.
We lost our rights. Freedom of speech went.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? What do you mean? Lost our rights? Rights to what? Right to be racist? I mean, that didn't happen, but okay.
And you decided to pack them and leave?
Yeah, I said, nah, I ain't doing it no more.
Right, so now you're in another country. Now you're in another country as a foreigner. You
I'm off. I'm on. Nah. Britain lost the plot 20 years ago.
20 years ago? 20 years ago? In 2005? We invaded Iraq? What do you mean? We started vilifying Muslims 20 years ago. What do you mean? Britain, the moment that Britain started demonizing Muslims was the moment I went, it's all gone to pot. She thinks Labour getting in power was 20 years ago. That's 30 years ago, mate. 30 years ago, actually, my friend.
All right.
And what about you? How do
she thinks she's being so funny.
Is it as bad as Britain?
No, it's a more relaxed lifestyle. You've got the weather, your utility bills are a lot lower. So the cost of living here is a lot lower than England.
Yeah.
And the lifestyle is more relaxed.
Yeah.
You have no animosity.
Uh-huh.
It's just so brilliant.
Cool.
And I mean, you obviously would recommend it to others, but what do you think of the inflation, how the government's doing inside Britain at this minute in time?
I don't think I can say it on air because I think they're absolute crap. And I just think it's the worst government ever. And they keep blaming everyone for the black hole. And when are they going to take responsibility for themselves?
That's interesting. This lady at the end didn't really say anything about foreigners or migrants or anything like that. This lady did, and she thought she was being well funny. She thought she was being so glib and savvy and cool sounding. Oh, you probably won't. Does she know who GB News are? If you have these kinds of views, you must know who GB News are. There's a big GB News logo on the fucking mic pop shield. Right? What you on about? The last lady was just like, yeah, nah, the neoliberal fucking government is stealing a bunch of people's money. And it's bad. Where's all the money going? What's happening? I think that's like normal shit, right? Yeah, worst government ever. And she's right. Like, I agree with her on that. I fully agree with her on that. Anyway, this is 5 Pillars UK reporting on a white woman in Bath. Not Bath. Bath. It's Bath. B-A-F-F. Bath. You know. Racist ladies rant at the NHS worker. Right, let's have a look here.
Say that again.
What good are you ever going to bring?
What, you think I'm the problem to everything?
I do think you're a problem.
Well, what?
Yeah, are you working?
Yes.
Are you paying tax?
Yes.
Are you really?
Yes, I work for the NHS actually.
How much
Yeah, I know, for the NHS actually. I work for the NHS, love.
No doubt you work for the NHS because it's full of your lot, and that's why it's failing, mate. That's why it's
Mate,
failing.
what?
That is why it's failing. All the money gets pumped in there, and what happens to it? Can we even get a doctor? Can we? This country is gone to the dogs because of that. Because of you. Yeah?
Why are you being horrible? What's the...
You haven't scared us into silence, and nor is our government. Nor have they.
Why are you being horrible? There's no need.
Why do you think where you come from, we're not used to that?
This guy is so clearly British. This guy has got a second generation accent. Sorry. Like, what are you on about? Where you come from? Where you come from, right? Well, he comes from fucking Bath, mate. Like, what are you on about? What are you on about? What's going on?
Right, we're not used to it. Why do you think we're being horrible? You think we're being horrible, do you?
I mean, you...
yeah, you're harassing him in the street.
Yelling...
Do you think we're being horrible?
I mean, there's no need to yell at me in the street, is there?
We're being horrible.
I mean, you just started yelling at me in the street. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Like...
why do you think that is? We're at the end of...
I think it's because you're racist, mate. We're at the end of our tether, she's gonna say. We're at the end of our tether.
Yeah,
Why do you think that is? We're at the end of our tether with this.
With what?
We are at the end of our tether with this. Do you not understand that?
Of course.
With what?
I've seen all the news. You're getting a bit...
So what do you think then? What do you think?
I think you're a bit misguided, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah. Of course I have.
Thanks for the follow.
I have, yeah, I have. If you think that, love, then that's up to you.
It wouldn't matter if you did, because you were like that old. I remember when this country was a real country, yeah?
Right.
We used to be a real country. We used to be a real country. She's right, we're not a real country. Oh my god. Bath is not a real place. It's just there for the pictures. It's true. Incredible. We used to have such a loud racist woman who would chase people around the town. It's so horrible. My friend frequently reports a hate preacher to the council. They say it's perfectly fine for him to stand there and be racist to people. Yeah, Bath I've heard is proper horrible. You can't even say your English these days because it doesn't exist anymore, yeah. Just doesn't exist, do it? She's not talking to him, she's taking his existence to live her dream of giving a racist speech about the brown man in her head. In her mind, she hears the applause of Facebook. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Long before you was born. Long before you was born. And this country is in the gutter now. It's in the gutter. So I remember when it wasn't.
Yeah, that's because of...
when it wasn't.
Yeah, that's because of 14 years of Tories, mate. Like, yes, it is.
No, you're about 5 minutes old. What would you know about Tories?
Mate, I know everything.
No. Yeah, the Tories let the world in. We know that. But this country was a great country once. One day it was, once upon a time it was. And the last 30, 40 years of immigration has ruined it. And you work for the NHS.
What do you think? And you think...
You work for the NHS.
Yes, I do, yeah.
Well, do you know what? We could never pump enough money into that place. Never. It wouldn't matter how much money we gave it.
So you...
Just completely false consciousness. Every kind of false consciousness just happening. You couldn't fund the NHS enough. If you funded the NHS now, it would just fall apart. And she's saying that because she's like, there's too many brown people working in it. That's what she's implying. You couldn't, even if they funded the NHS, it'd still be shit because it's not white. You know? I mean, it's actually not. It's lovely. We've got to know the local independent business community. They're committed to inclusion and anti-racist actions, but the bad actors are fucking vile and loud. Yeah. Said it was English the other day, and the council chopped me head off. Yeah, exactly. The newest reviews aren't good. She's getting review bombed. Let's have a little look. The burger box. I mean, is this like the real one? Because like, look at the fucking font. The font is so bad. Is this the right one? Have you found the right one? No, it's okay. I don't mind having a shit link. Burger box bath. Next to Goes Gyros. The font on the van is very bad. She might be just like a private caterer who does not advertise. Burger Box is like a pretty... Look at the fucking design on that font. It's so bad. Haburbo. And that's not weather, right? That's not the weather that's done that shit. This is just like terrible design. It's like Lilac T, Lilac E, Lilac U, Lilac G, Lilac E, Lilac X, hard purple HBRRBO. Mental. Absolutely mental. Insane. Huge. Mental. It's pretty bad. And what is this font? I recognize it. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, just terrible graphic design, but whatever. Half wiped permanent marker effect. Yeah. I love Haburbo. It stands for Holy Batman, Right Racist, Batshit, Oxymoron. Yeah. Graphic design is their passion. Is this the real one that you found? Burger Box Bath next to Luigi's Barbers and Go Heroes. This isn't in Bath. This is in Bristol. Ah, Burger Box, Bristol. Let's have a look. Let me just bring that right up. Bristol. People are already talking about it on Reddit. People are talking about it on Reddit. Maybe she could consider a rebrand. Maybe she could consider a rebrand to the Bigot Box. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Hey, Emmy Killy, how you doing? I saw this on the Bristol subreddit. Yeah, that's what I'm on right now. There's like 30 burger boxes in North America. Yeah. Nah. It's gonna be hard. Oh, hell yeah, Nappers. Well done. The Bath Place has released a statement saying she's done one of this. Yeah, it is Bristol. It is Bristol. It's also been posted in Green and Pleasant, which is the leftist UK one. Wait, what? The numbers aren't showing up on Google, so it's probably not even a proper business. Someone's linked gov.uk/report tax fraud. Okay, alright. I don't know if we're gonna find her business on the stream tonight, so I'm not gonna try it. I'm not gonna bother trying. Let's listen to what the rest of what she's got to say is.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course I have. I have. Yeah, I have. If you think that, love, then that's up to you.
They love to do that, right? They love to do that. Fascists just love to do. No, you didn't. No, you haven't. They'll be like, have you lived here your whole life? And then the person will be like, yes, I was born here. And they'll be like, no, you aren't. No, you weren't. Okay, no, I wasn't. And this guy's responding in the right way. This guy's responding in the only way that you can respond to something like this, which is, okay, mate, If you say so, right? If you say so.
We're like that old. I remember when this country was a real country, yeah?
Right, yeah.
Long before you was born. Long before you was born.
Ask her what that looked like. Ask her what was the real country. What do you mean real country? What made it a real country? Why is it not a real country now, but it's a real country before? And, you know, she's already said before immigration and all this shit.
And this country is in the gutter now. It's in the gutter. So I remember when it wasn't.
Yeah, that's because of...
when it wasn't.
Yeah, that's because of 14 years of Tories, mate. Like, yes, it is.
Wait, we've already heard this, right? Is this repeating?
Mate, I know everything.
Yeah, the Tories let the world in. We know that. But this country was a great country once. One day it was, once upon a time it was. And the last 30, 40 years of immigration has ruined it. And you work for the NHS.
What do you think? And you think... Yes, I do, yeah.
I did scroll back to look at the van font. You're right, PBP, thanks.
Never. It wouldn't matter how much money we gave it.
So you...
It's run by a bunch of immigrants.
So you think we should have...
There you go. The NHS is run by a bunch of immigrants. Okay. Riddle me this. Yeah? Riddle me this. What you want to happen is to get rid of all the immigrants, okay? Let's say that that happened. Let's say that that happened. And then we have no one, everyone, all the immigrants are in the US, in the NHS. That's what you're saying, right? And there's a slight bit of truth to that. I mean, it's overwhelmingly white. But let's say that what you were saying was true. Let's enter into your world for a bit, right? Get rid of all the immigrants. Now there's no one in the NHS. There's no heart surgeons. There's no neurosurgeons. There's no specialty surgeons. There's no, you know, specialists in anything because they're all immigrants, right? They're all immigrants, according to you. So, how are we gonna get that back? How are we getting that back? How are we getting that back? How are we getting those doctors back? Get them back? When you kick them out? Is that what you do? I don't know. What do you do? Train white people to do it? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when you get into 65 grand worth of debt for an undergraduate degree? 65 grand worth of debt for an undergraduate degree? Who's funding this? Who's funding all these people to retrain and go into medicine all of a sudden? Right? She should stick to running burgers in their boxes. Yeah. No. It's not an attempt to blur her face. I think that there was some text here and they've blurred that. Because on the original subreddit thing, there's like text in the middle of the screen. I think this guy put this on TikTok. Don't need one of them fancy medical doctors. Local shaman is all I need. Literally, you jest, Krill. But there are like white people in this country who call themselves fucking shamans. And they will sell things like homeopathic medicine and all that fucking nightmare nonsense shit. You jest, but these people fucking actually think that.
Have an ethnically pure nation.
I'm not on about ethnically pure.
But then, why are you having a go at me then?
Why am I having a go at you?
Yeah. Why have you stopped your car in the middle of the road, like on a random...
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
what?
okay.
You're literally... What do you mean, love?
Okay.
Love, like... What, I don't know.
Whatever you want, now you're recording. Say whatever you want.
I don't know what you're...
What? How did she not know he was recording before? Like, what do you mean? Say whatever you want, now you're recording?
What your issue is, I pay tax, I work, I want this country to prosper.
Right. Okay, chat. Let's break this down. What do we have here? This person is driving a van for a company. It's called the Burger Box. We've seen that. It is possible if she is driving the branded van. Now, this doesn't look like there is a fleet of these vans. This font, to me, does not say that there is a fleet of Burger Box vans, right? We looked at the font. Let's have a look at it again. Yeah, it's pretty basic, right? Pretty basic font. I don't think there's a fleet of these vans. I think this is the only one. And I think that she owns it. And I think that she's a small business owner. I think that she's a mini Hitler. as I have said many times before, the loudest, most annoying and most disgusting bigots in this country are petty bourgeois reactionaries. What I mean by that is small to medium-sized business owners, people who are self-employed. They may have staff. They may not have staff. They may be self-employed. But a lot of the time, what happens is they get drawn in by neoliberalism. They get drawn in by neoliberal capitalism. It says to them, you can be a millionaire. You can be a billionaire. You can own your own company. You can do so much. You can prosper. You can have a great life, right? And when these people enter into the game of capitalism, they are already... She might have a working class background. We don't know. She doesn't seem like she's got generational wealth, right? Don't worry about it, Morton. It's all right. I still got the link. She doesn't look like she's got generational wealth, and she probably doesn't, right? She's got a bit of an accent. She could very well be from a working class background. She started a business. She's tried to get on the fucking capitalism ladder, and she's instantly realized that things are very hard. Yeah, because capitalism means that people from that kind of a section of society cannot succeed unless they really, 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 really ruthlessly break the law, harm people, and exploit. Right? According to Company's House, the Burger Box Bath owner, limited owner, is a Bangladeshi national. I mean, that's the Bath one, isn't it? This is in Bristol, right? And they still have to get lucky. Yeah, people like that still have to get lucky in order to actually be anywhere close to the big dogs in capitalism. Because the big dogs in capitalism are the billionaires, right? Those are the big dogs. You know, there is a ruling class, you know, a subset of people where there are like higher echelons of capitalism, and you're just not getting anywhere near that. You're not getting anywhere near that if you play by the rules. If you play by the rules and you be a nice person, you'll still be exploiting people, especially if you've got staff, because you'll be stealing their wages. You're not running a co-op. You're a business owner. So she's tried. She's tried to play capitalism, and capitalism has gone, nah. And already for the reason of why that is, capitalism says to her via the media, look at all these immigrants. Look at all these immigrants. Look at them all doing all this stuff. Oh my God, isn't it bad? They're all over the NHS. There's no way you can get anywhere. It's because they're just putting immigrants in the NHS. There's immigrants in the waiting rooms. There's immigrants everywhere. Immigrants, yada, yada, yada. And she doesn't see immigrants all the time because it's not like that. Reality is not like that. Manchester is one of the biggest places for immigrants in the UK. And I go out on my fucking door every day. I live in the city centre of Manchester and I see fucking white people everywhere. Yeah, like I don't not see people of color. I don't not see black people, brown people, Muslims, all kinds of people, Chinese people, South Asian people, East Asian people, right? I see all kinds of people, but it's still overwhelmingly white. That is the reality. It is still an overwhelmingly white country. And so whenever she sees one person who is brown, she is like, it is time. It is time. I'm going to do my shit, right? I am going to do my shit. And this is her shit. And she is just making a fucking embarrassment of herself. She's only ever going to be known for this. We don't live in the USA. We don't live in the USA. She's not going to be put on some kind of pedestal in 2 years for reform. It's not going to happen. Because she's the fucking Bristol Burger Box lady. She's not the governor of prisons who was recently appointed to be the justice minister for reform. It's not the same thing, right? She's not going to get anything out of this. And none of these people are going to get anything out of this. They will still be crushed and crushed and crushed by capitalism. You cannot play the game and win. It is rigged against everybody. A very working class Bristolian accent. Yep. She sounds like my neighbor. My neighbor isn't racist good. Ain't no becoming a big dog for us. Again, Metal Gear, believe in yourself and you'll succeed, but it's obvious from the start only a few can succeed. Yep. Maybe she's racist because the Bath Burger Box is better. That's the real law, yeah. Bigoted battle between the Bath and Bristol Burger Boxes. Hi, Technomancy, how are you? We went to Manchester one time and went to a train station pub and it was kind of uncomfortable. What do you mean? Elaborate. Elaborate. Yeah. This is the actual original video, yeah. It's the same amount of length. You know? Even in the USA, very few loud bigots get the platforms. Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, because what's happened to Kyle... shoot him up. What's his name? Kyle fucking Shithouse? What's his name? Shittenhouse. Hey, Al, how are you doing? Good to see you. We lived in London 2 years. I'm Polish, so I blend in, but my wife is Mexican, and she get a lot of looks. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, you know, there's racists in Manchester, for sure. Absolutely. You know, train station pub, I imagine, as well. You're also going to be finding a lot of people who are not actually from Manchester. They're in between trains and traveling and that. You know what I mean? It was a comment on there talking about the owner. Spoke to the owner of a burger van. He was bad-mouthing McDonald's being everywhere. Then goes on to express Daily Fail narrative about how it's immigrants' fault and his business is struggling. So actually, this might be that guy's wife. There were guys in full kit there. What do you mean full kit? What, like Manchester United fans and shit? Yeah, that was probably quite stressful. Yeah, it's gonna be stressful and upsetting for anyone who is, you know, gonna be seen as not white enough or not British enough. So I completely understand where you're coming from, Technomancy. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the point I'm trying to make, right? Like, you know, even Manchester, like, it's got so many immigrants in it, and it's still overwhelmingly white. You're not gonna think, oh, this is a city where racism doesn't exist anymore, because that's fucking bollocks, right? Where's the... Tries to insult him by saying he works at McDonald's and she literally sells burgers herself. She tried to belittle McDonald's workers while running a burger delivery company. That's pretty good. Spoke to owner of a burger van. He was bad-mouthing McDonald's being everywhere. Then goes on to the Stress film narrative how it's immigrants' fault his business is struggling. They get so close, then decide to drive off a cliff. Yeah. I mean, that's right? It's like, you know, this is exactly it. That's crazy, actually, that she did that. That's such a good point, Morton. That's a great fucking point. Thanks for sharing that, because, yeah, that absolutely backs up what I was saying. You know? She was like, I bet you work at McDonald's. And she holds McDonald's responsible for why she struggles. Right? Which is true. McDonald's are the big boys. She can't play with the big boys. Most people can't. And yeah, they get close and then drive off the cliff. Mental. So there you go. Some absolute psycho UK shit. Let's move over to the USA. What have we got here? Vice President Vance meeting the National Guard in Washington, D.C. But what's that you can hear in the background, chat?
I feel good, man. I can't complain. This is a lot more fun like I do most days. All right, appreciate it. Good to see you, man. Thanks for all your help.
Oh my god. I mean, speaking of McDonald's. Speaking of fucking McDonald's, right? Boycott those motherfuckers. If you weren't already, boycott those motherfuckers. What are you doing? Yeah. They're chanting free DC and they can hear it outside. I'm sure that this guy is having a great time. Feels great about what he's doing. Yeah, man, this is what I signed up to the military for. To create an apartheid state in America. This is why I did it. I mean, some of them probably did, but some of them definitely didn't. Some of them definitely did just to get through college. You know? What else do we got? We got this guy over here. One right-wing evangelical piece of shit passes away. And another one takes their place. This person is David Reese.
We must seek to have good leaders that will destroy the wicked. We absolutely must see that happen. We need civil magistrates. But we're not going to see it happen unless you build Christian wealth. If you don't have Christian wealth, and if you're not competent men who can rule, this is only to the men. Men, your duty is to take public office in the church and in the state. Your duty is to build up wealth, to have resources so you can do it. You need that. Wives, you must help your husbands to have resources so that they can rule. Why are we?
Wives, you must do your reproductive labor while Christian men should build wealth and use it to take public office and rule. Mental. I haven't had a McDonald's since October the 7th. Yeah, it's currently on the targeted boycott, divest, and sanctions list. McDonald's gave a bunch of free burgers to IOF soldiers who then went and murdered Palestinian women, children, civilians. My son just asked me, why is there military there? Yeah, that must be a really cool thing for your son to ask you, yeah. It must be really cool to have to try and explain what's happening to your son. It's great, right? It's great, this world that we're living in. I'm sorry about that, apple chips. Not only is this incredibly patriarchal, it's also fucking terrifying American dominionist political theology, yeah. Hey, Morrigan, how are you? Yeah, fucking mental. Just absolutely mental, this shit. Anyway, there's the Fashwatch. We are going to get on to Israel rejecting the ceasefire, and then we're going to move on to the last hour of the stream. And then after that, movie night in the Discord. That's right. Oh yeah, movie night in the Discord. What do you know about that? What do you know about that? Pretty down considering the title of the stream. What, Israel rejects ceasefire? Yeah, we're gonna watch that. We're gonna cover that now. It's not all doom and gloom. Don't worry. It's a lot of it is actually like interestingly good news. Interesting developments on the ground. So we got BBC News talking about this first. It's gonna suck, but we will have a look at it and see what they're saying.
Israeli media are reporting that tens of thousands of military reservists will be called up in the coming weeks ahead of a planned ground offensive to capture all of Gaza.
We went through this yesterday. My prediction was, by the way, that the next couple of months, we are just going to be hearing about how difficult it is for Israel to bulk up the troop numbers. You all remember that yesterday? I said that. That's what we were saying yesterday, yeah? That's all we're going to hear about over the next couple of months. We're not going to hear about the supposed Operation Gideon's Chariots 2. That's what it's called. Gideon's Chariots that failed. And the new one, right? Again, chat, to reiterate, they have said that they are going to invade and occupy Gaza or various different parts of Gaza 4 times over the last 2 years. They've said it 4 times. This is the 5th time that they're saying it. 4 times they have not managed to do it because the resistance is too strong, right? Yes, they're still committing a genocide. Yes, they're still murdering people from airstrikes and mortar shells and artillery shelling. There's thousands of people dying every fucking week and it sucks. But the resistance is stopping them from militarily occupying the Gaza Strip, and that's fucking something, right? So the last failed operation, Gideon's Chariot, they're calling the new operation Gideon's Chariots 2. It's beyond insanity. So I think that is what we're going to be hearing about, because we've got 20,000 IOF soldiers who've been removed from the battlefield because they're injured. There are lots of people who are refusing to be redeployed because of what they saw in Gaza. Because what you got to remember what's happening, chat. It's like Starship Troopers. It is like the scene in Starship Troopers where they go into battle for the first time and the bugs just murder everyone, right? Because that is what fascism requires. It requires an insane level of propaganda. If you've not watched Starship Troopers, you absolutely should. We'll watch that the next movie night, next month, right? Because it is incredibly good at explaining what fascism does, right? Real the payment is on the way energy is what I'm hearing. Right, exactly. It's kind of like that. Hi, Electric Kitty. How are you? Good to see you. Go follow Electric Kitty, everyone. So it's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's basically the first part of the movie is just like people on Earth filled with propaganda. You know, they are literally dressed like fascists. It's crazy how similar they are to fascists, and like people just don't get that movie and they just think it's a cool movie about killing gross space aliens. But the gross space aliens are an analogy for colonized people, because that's what people are doing that's what humans are doing in space. They're colonizing planets, right? So it's that essentially. Yeah, the classroom scene spells it out pretty basically. And they just have this like, you know, we're winning the war, we're winning the war, we're winning the war, we're doing it, we're doing it, we're doing it. And then they get there and they all get fucking murdered in like the first fucking battle that they have, right? And it's I've said it for a long time. It's an analogy for Israel. It's an analogy for the IOF. Because that is exactly what they do. They say, we're winning, we're winning, we're winning, we're winning. And, you know, they go into battle and they get fucking murked because they're being lied to. And you can imagine what they're gonna, you know, how they're gonna feel when they get deployed. They're like, yeah, we're winning the war. We're gonna cream them. It's gonna be easy. And then they get there. They see all the mates blown up, shot. Literally just stood there having a cig. One of the mates drops dead, shot by a sniper. Oh fuck. You know, fucking tank that they were in 2 minutes ago explodes. They're like, shit, I'm out. I'm not doing it. I'm not going back. You lied. You fucking lied to us, man. What the fuck's this about? Right? Calling up thousands of reservists. They don't have these reservists, by the way. They don't have them. A lot of the reservists have already been saying, we're not going to fight in Gaza. Yeah? Yeah, that's a quote from the film, right? Force, my friends, is violence, the supreme authority from which all other authorities are derived, right? Yeah. They have a veterans-based citizenship. Yeah. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Anyway.
City. 1 million Palestinian residents are expected to be ordered to leave once new shelters are set up in southern Gaza. Many of Israel's allies have condemned the plan. Israel has yet to give a formal response.
I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, think about what we're living through right now. Israel have said that they're going to do this 5 times. This is the 5th time that they've said it. And only now, Israel's allies are like, yeah, I think this is bad, dude. Where were you the other 4 times?
To a ceasefire proposal which Hamas has agreed to, but officials have reiterated that the country will no longer accept a partial deal.
Oh, what's that? So, months and months and months of the same story again. Hamas keep rejecting the ceasefire deal. Hamas won't accept the ceasefire deal, but then they give them a ceasefire deal. Right.
But officials have reiterated that the country will no longer accept a partial deal.
All of a sudden, Hamas agrees to a ceasefire.
A formal response to a ceasefire proposal which Hamas has agreed to, but officials have reiterated that the country will no longer accept a partial deal.
Very, very, very serious. Very serious government. All about doing things properly. All about doing things properly. What is this? This is from this week? What? Soldiers left without air conditioning. This is from Yanet. The soldiers left without air conditioning again in extreme heat. The IDF's outrageous explanation and apology. Hey DJ, what's up? Oh, Technomancy, this is so good. Last week, at the height of that record-breaking heat wave hit the country, the electricity at the ranger base near Eilat went out, and the soldiers were forced to deal with the weather without air conditioning. Indigenous to the Middle East, by the way. Indigenous to the Middle East, yeah? In addition, the water supply was disrupted and the moldy, inedible food was served. After many complaints from soldiers and their parents, they phoned their parents and were like, Mom, Dad, it's so bad being in the army. It was decided to release the soldiers from the base for the weekend, except for one company that remained on guard duty at the base. Mental! Mental! This is crazy, man. They're not serious. It's not a serious army. It's not serious. You know? A mother of a daughter who serves at the base in training for a company commander course told Unet about the poor conditions at the base even in everyday life. The conditions there are generally shocking. If the girls eat there in the dining room, they immediately get diarrhea. What about the girls? What about this? Are they saying that, like, women get affected more? We buy her everything she needs for the base. Canned goods and hot meals. The main thing is that they don't eat there. Yesterday, friends from ALAT brought them food, especially because they were in the field. They complain about the kitchen non-stop. She's constantly hungry. Also did a basic training there and has already lost 8 kilos during her service. That's all from diarrhea, chat. That's all from diarrhea. Still dealing with planned outages. A parent of a female soldier in observer training said the commander did not apologize. He tried to explain to us the situation. There were problems and that the children are in the army for 2 weeks and experience problems themselves. They're confused and stressed, and then everything else that happens, it seems worse than it really is. Wait, that's all the explanation? He tried to explain to us the situation. There were problems and children in the army for 2 weeks and experienced problems themselves. They're confused and stressed. Everything else that happens, it seems worse than it really is. That's the explanation that they gave. This is exactly what we were talking about. Mom, the food is bad at the child killing camp. Their parents are sending them packed lunches. This is mental. This is mental. Really big story breaking in Israel. Soldiers at a base got hot. Yeah, they're gonna... Chat, you know, I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's gonna be a good night. I've got a feeling that they're gonna not do well in this recruitment drive to get more soldiers and more reservists. Listen, soldier, you may think you've shit yourself, but you're just new here. You don't get it. We're all just shitting ourselves every day. It's normal to shit yourself when you're in the army. It's just like, what is happening, man? What's going on? That's great. Thank you for that, Technomancy. I appreciate that.
Let's speak to our Gaza correspondent, Rushdie Abu-Alouf, who's in Istanbul. Rushdie, tell us more about this draft to call up these reservists.
Well, this is Israeli media is reporting this, that Israel will call up about 60,000 reservists into the operation in Gaza. You know, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that they will reoccupy or control Gaza City. Gaza City is the biggest city in the entire of Gaza Strip, where about 1 million people live there, not only originally from Gaza City, but from the north, from the east, from the south. Everybody is now, in a very tiny bit of land in western part of the city. Very worrying news for the people there who were like briefly hoped yesterday that the Israel would respond positively to the Egyptian new proposal that Hamas agreed to it about 24 hours ago. The deal is talking about 60 days of ceasefire for Hamas to release.
And by the way, this is all propaganda of all these troops, chat. Like, this guy is the guy who took over from the general, like the main general. Like, they keep having loads of switcheroos all the time, but this guy right here, crazy by the way that all the soldiers' faces are blurred, aren't they? What's that about, chat? Why do you think all these soldiers' faces are blurred?
The deal is talking about
this is insane, by the way. This has never happened before on the BBC.
60 days of ceasefire for Hamas to release 10 Israeli live hostages.
Why do you think that is?
And about 18.
Every single one of them.
10 Israel would release about 15 or 15,000, 1,500.
I've never seen that before.
Palestinian prisoners and
are they British citizens? No, I think that they are simply. I think that the footage that the IOF is releasing, I think they're already blurred, and I think that's so that they don't get prosecuted for war crimes, because that's starting to happen.
Or needed food and medicine into Gaza, but the people are very worried this time because they have experienced the Israeli operation in Gaza City about a year ago when they were told
they don't blur their own grinning faces on their social media. Well, they got told off for that, didn't they? They got told off for doing that. Like, they're not allowed to do that anymore. And it's like, that's crazy, man. Like, you live in a society where you've made it so normal that when you're committing a genocide, when you're committing a literal fucking genocide, your soldiers are just there, like, smoking cigs, like, yeah, check me out, man. I just bombed that fucking ancestral family home.
Homes in
mental.
Gaza. And this is what the people are worrying the most in Gaza.
Rushdie, for the moment, thank you very much.
Right, so I mean, that guy just basically said it would be dead shit if Israel invaded Gaza City, because there's loads of people there, and it will be really bad. Like, none of them have done anything. None of them are Hamas, right? They're just normal people. They're just civilians. They're getting bombed. They're already starving. And this BBC person is like, right, well, you've said that. Now, let's speak to John Kilkids about... John Kilkids from Jerusalem, talking about what he thinks should be done.
Let's join our Middle East correspondent Yolande Knell in Jerusalem. What's the time frame, Yolande, for this military operation which the Netanyahu government has talked about, which would see Israel capturing all of Gaza City?
So, I mean, the next step is for the Israeli military chief of staff to get those plans approved by the Israeli cabinet. We're expecting that to happen.
The Israeli chief of military has said that the military doesn't want to do this. Like, at what point are we engaging with reality here, right? Do you know what I mean? Because we've heard about the 10-hour meeting that they had earlier this week where the military was like, we are not doing this, bro. We're not doing it. Yeah?
Pretty soon. Already there are Israeli maneuvers that are happening around Gaza City, and people in the city have been telling us, how frightening it is to have this intense Israeli bombardment. There have been many house demolitions.
The movements that they're talking about is the bombardment. They've pulled people out of Gaza City. The remaining battalion is in Khan Yunis. So the BBC is just glazing and repeating Israeli propaganda at this point.
Taking place, particularly in the Zaytun neighborhood, that has led to people fleeing within the city.
Okay, the Al Zaytun thing is correct, but that was like earlier this week. When is this from?
There as well. The Israeli military is calling
1 day ago.
Tens of thousands of reservists. That's what dominates the Israeli news headlines this morning.
Yeah, the Israeli news headlines are like, we've got tens of thousands of reservists who are keen to throw their lives away in Gaza.
And at the same time as this,
yeah, man, sure.
No actual meeting scheduled, a security cabinet meeting to discuss that proposal that's come from the mediators for a new Gaza ceasefire that Hamas has signed up to. So there's quite a lot of mixed signals coming from the Israelis at the moment. They really want to show that they're pushing ahead with their plans to conquer all of Gaza City. And then they're saying when it comes to the idea of a new ceasefire and hostage deal, that they're no longer ready to accept what they're calling a partial deal. What's being proposed at the moment would only bring back half of the remaining living hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners over the course of a 60-day ceasefire. But then there are also messages from unnamed Israeli officials that you see in the media a lot, basically saying that they are reviewing this proposal that's come through from the mediators, and the White House has said it's continuing to discuss it as well.
That's interesting. It's not often that the BBC is like pretty much saying out loud, yeah, I don't know what Israel is doing. Israel's saying all kind of things.
How great is the pressure that Benjamin Netanyahu is under from the international community to agree to something?
Not that great.
Avert this
Not that great. Anything that she says that is beyond he's a little bit pressed is you know.
So, I mean, on the one hand, he has...
I was looking at the burger place we were talking about. You'll never guess what's on the menu. It's all halal. Yeah, but like, that's the thing. Is it definitely that one joint? Because we were finding it hard to find out which one it is. And like, people were saying that they've taken down all their online presence and we don't know actually who it is. I don't know if it is, because I was looking at a burger box joint and someone else was saying, I think it was Steph was saying on Company's House, there's a burger box that's owned like by a Bangladeshi guy, and that completely tracks, right? If it's halal. Yeah.
Many of Israel's Western...
I do not think in a single minute that lady with the bad font on the van is doing tandoori chicken burgers. She is doing burgers that taste like shit. She and her husband or whoever, like her business partner, they are doing the worst burgers you've ever tasted in your life. They're doing Rustler's burgers, right? Middle-earth Marxist, he appears across the news networks in every country and gets to shit-talk their leaders. He's doing great, yeah. Most motor-mouth army in the world. They're always saying stuff. They're always saying stuff. They're always just saying stuff, aren't they? Yeah. It's like when Trump told his fans that the Epstein files don't exist. The PR disaster could be mitigated by telling the little fascist goons what they're doing before they announce something publicly. I mean, they're just playing with power at the moment, right? They don't care about any of that. They don't care about PR. They're like, we've got the federal cops. We're federalizing the cops in DC. We're doing DC apartheid. Zionists are like, nah. We're the chosen people. We're gonna win. And then they won't, right?
Allies really, condemning the idea of this plan, saying that will deepen the humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, no. If they cared, they would stop all arms sales, and they're not.
Israel's closest ally is Washington, and Donald Trump has, without saying it, in full, seemed to give a kind of nod of approval to Israeli plans to go ahead and put more pressure on Hamas and to, go ahead with this operation, which Israel says is intended to clear Hamas out of Gaza City, which.
They really think that we're fucking stupid, don't they? They really think that we're fucking stupid. If you Google anything about Donald Trump and this situation, he is like, yeah, man, kill them all. We got to get rid of Hamas. What do you mean? What do you mean? The approval is the continued arms sales. That's what I mean. It's fucking stupid.
Means its stronghold.
Yolande, for the moment, thank you very much, Yolande.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. They're saying that Gaza City is a stronghold of Hamas. Mental. Absolutely mental. They don't know what they're talking about. Let's hear what Fox News Chicago is saying about this. This will be interesting. 1 minute they dedicated to this.
I'm Terrence Lee with an update tonight from the Middle East, where plans for a temporary ceasefire in Gaza may have hit an obstacle. Israel has new demands in order to stop the fighting. The latest proposal would have seen half of the living hostages.
Yeah, that's what they're referring to, Techno, yeah.
Fighting, more aid, and the release of Palestinian prisoners. The Israeli government is now pushing for the release of all the hostages in one batch. That's been a non-starter for Hamas, which is now bracing for the IDF to reoccupy Gaza City and much of the surrounding area. Israel's plans are drawing thousands of protesters to the streets, pleading with the prime minister to put the hostages first.
Prioritize the release of all the hostages, get them out.
I mean, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Most of these people are like, we want the hostages back. And they don't fucking care if they release Palestinian prisoners. And that's mostly because they know that Palestinian prisoners will get reinstitutionalized. Reoccupied, did they stop occupying it? I mean, yeah, they occupied it back in 2000 and oh God, when was it? They occupied the Gaza Strip in the 60s and the 70s, and then they withdrew because of the UN partition, but they started to build a wall around Gaza in the 70s, and then there were incursions into Gaza that kept happening, and I get a little hazy on the details there. But they did occupy it for a bit. They built settlements, and then they were pushed out or told to evacuate by various Western leaders. It might have been the Oslo Accords, I don't know. And the Palestinians, ended up... It's just semantic if they're basically boxed in by the military. I mean, that's what you're talking about. Well, look, what they're trying to do right now is they are trying to occupy it in a sense of building bases and controlling it, right? So what they're talking about is when they say occupy Gaza City, they're saying we're going to be in Gaza City and we're going to be running it, yeah? And they're not going to be doing that. There's no way. They're not even doing that in the whole of Gaza. I get it. I just don't like their framing. Yeah. They're chatting rubbish. Like, yeah, of course they occupy. Gaza City is a it's occupation, Brody. Also, hi, welcome to the stream. Yeah. They are occupying Palestine, and Gaza City is an enclave. But if we think about it logistically and realistically, in Gaza, with regards to taking over Gaza City and occupying it and invading it and occupying it, they won't be able to do that. They won't be able to do it in the same way that they are doing in various areas. Well, basically in the land that's known as Palestine, the land that's called Israel, the Zionist occupation of Israel. They won't be able to have the same control at all. There's just no way. Okay, when are we up to? The IOF canteen is a stronghold of Hamas, according to them Pooh reports. That's right. That's right.
Out and then we can.
As I was saying. Also, hi, one who reads. Welcome in. As I was saying, they are concerned with the hostages. They want the hostages to be released, and they will not care if Palestinian prisoners are released in exchange. It is so crazy for Netanyahu to be just not agreeing to this deal, but he's a genocidal maniac. He's Hitler too, and I don't know if Israeli people are gonna like revolt in a meaningful way, like they keep doing protests, and I don't know where they're at. And I don't think if they revolted in a meaningful way, it would mean any different for Palestinians. It might make Israel weaker, and that could be good for Palestinians. Any weakening of Israel would be good for Palestinians. So yeah, I guess so. But there is already still a bunch of unrest happening, and there is a bunch of discord in the Knesset. Doesn't care about the hostages, they're a tool for him, yeah. It's true. Right, okay, let's move on.
Deal with the Hamas.
The White House is standing behind Israel's effort to take the fight to Hamas while all...
A minute from Fox News. That's great reporting, man. Thank you very much for that. Let's take a look at Al Jazeera, who dedicated 6 minutes to this.
Hussein Hariri is a former...
The UK government summoned the Israeli ambassador today. Very effective. Wait, what? UK Gov summons Israeli ambassador over West Bank settlement plan following approval of E1 settlement. This is what Bezalel Smotrich was talking about. Yeah. E1 settlement of East Jerusalem would effectively cut the West Bank in two. Foreign Office summoned the Israeli ambassador CP Hotel Valley over Tel Aviv's approval of a major settlement in Palestine's West Bank. Move follows Israel's decision to go ahead with the E1 settlement east of Jerusalem, which would effectively cut the West Bank in two. In a joint statement on Thursday, foreign ministers from the UK, EU, and 20 other countries called on Tel Aviv to reverse the decision, saying it would bring no benefits to the Israeli people and risk undermining security and fuels further violence and instability. All their concern is on the Israeli people, isn't it? Fucking hate our country, honestly. Israel's finance minister Bezalel Smotrich has been sanctioned by the UK. Said the decision buries the idea of a Palestinian state because there's nothing to recognize and no one to recognize. Yeah. I mean, you know, he's wrong. The Palestinians still exist. I'm not gonna like say that Bezalel Smotrich is right. But the decision to recognize a Palestinian state is fucking meaningless, right? Previously condemned the approval of the E1 plan. Mark a flagrant breach of international law. Whoa! Oh my god. Lammy. David. David Lammy said it would mark a flagrant breach of international law. What about the rest of it? What about the rest of it, Doug? What about the rest of it? He would know, wouldn't he, Sorka? He would know about breaching international law. Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me. Your PM is literally a fucking human rights lawyer. Yeah, I mean, in name only, right? He also loves money. He also loves fucking money. This is the issue. The problem with all of them is that they actually just love money, right? Think about Keir Starmer. This is what I was saying before. Think about Keir Starmer. One of the biggest scandals of his premiership, other than aiding and abetting the genocide in Gaza, is that he loves gifts, doesn't he? He loves gifts. He loves accepting gifts. Tickets to fucking Wembley football matches that he doesn't even like. Suits, new suits, fucking shit for his wife. All this stuff. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds from the Israeli lobby. Just so that he will award government contracts to Elbit Systems. Mental. For a second, it sounded like we were about to go full macho man there. I think I've had like a stroke. I think I've had a stroke. After reading this from fucking David Lammy saying it would mark a breach. David Lammy having the gall. I'm not even gonna get into it because I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I can't read anything else that he's saying. Okay, anyway. Interesting news. Thanks, Brody. Let's listen to what Al Jazeera is saying about this.
Egyptian Assistant Foreign Minister. Sir, you're joining us from Cairo. We also want your point of view on this. As we said, Qatar and Egypt, both mediators between Israel and Hamas on this. I'm not sure how much of that press conference you were able to hear. The outline of the deal that the spokesperson gave us is that there would be a 60-day ceasefire. There would be a repositioning of Israeli forces within the Gaza Strip, so that means they would pull back. And there would be a surge of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip, something which the Israeli Prime Minister has promised but has not done until now. How seriously are you taking these reports, of that Hamas has now accepted? Well, that's a fact, not a
Thanks,
report.
Morgan.
But how seriously, how optimistic, I should say, are you that we are getting significantly closer to a deal?
Well,
I've heard about the new Bubsy coming, yeah.
I would refrain from predicting the course of events in Gaza in the next few days or few weeks, for that matter. We are waiting for the Israeli official reaction to the news yesterday. And of course, we understand that there are major...
Sisi's got some high fucking trousers, bro. Bro, his torso is like half and half. What is happening? He's like a fucking history teacher.
And of course, we understand that there are major political differences within the Israeli ruling coalition on whether to accept the idea of partial deals or no. My understanding is that both the American administration and the
Is he not English? Is who not English? What are you on about? Sisi? This guy is the Egyptian president. This guy, he's the president of Egypt.
The American administration and the Israeli government are not very enthusiastic or very interested in partial deals. They wanted the release of all the hostages, and then we'll see how things will develop after that. So I'm neither optimistic nor pessimistic. I would rather wait for the official Israeli response to the news of yesterday.
Okay, it was made very clear by
half boffin, half man.
The ball is now in Israel's court. Hamas has accepted. Will Israel accept? We simply don't know at this point. He made that clear. However, he did say...
When was this broadcast? Today? 2 days ago. Okay. I mean, we still don't know.
That Israel...
Like, this is the thing. My title says Israel rejects ceasefire, but also there's a bunch of people saying that they haven't rejected the ceasefire. So it's like, what is even happening, right?
Accepted an almost identical deal only, about a month and a half ago. And that's where he seemed to be getting some optimism from. So if Israel was on board with pretty much the same thing, a month to 2 months ago, why wouldn't they be on board with it now?
Much water has come under the bridge, has passed under the bridge now. 1 month and a half has made it a lot.
The guy speaking, he's the former assistant foreign minister to Egypt, yeah.
I'm afraid the question is the following: why didn't Hamas accept this proposal 1 month and a half ago? Timing.
Yeah, you're right, Brody. Yeah.
Of essence.
De facto rejection.
And I wish the Hamas leadership would look at the element of time in a more strategic framework. But anyhow, in the 1 month and a half.
What do you mean by that, bro?
And the breakdown of the last round of negotiations.
Have a realistic interpretation of time? A realistic view of the time frame? What do you mean? What does he mean by that?
In Doha, two things
chatting rubbish
have taken place. The first thing is that the Israelis, unfortunately, regrettably, have now a plan to reoccupy or to relaunch their major military operations in Gaza Strip. And the main objective of this operation would be to reoccupy Gaza City. This is the first thing.
No, I know, PM. Yeah, they're a vassal state. It's waffle to excuse inaction. You're right. Yeah.
The Trump administration and the Israeli government now are not interested in partial.
I mean, I think like the stupid shit about all of this is that you've got the Israeli papers, right? If you want to get like a real idea of what Israel is thinking, or what message they want to get across to the world, you look at the Israeli papers, like the Hebrew ones and shit. And in those papers, they are saying things like, is Egypt holding up its end of the bargain? Right? Egypt is blocking all aid in Rafah. They are blocking Palestinians from getting out, and they are blocking aid from getting in. And what the fucking Zionists are saying, what the fascist Zionists are saying, is that Egypt is not doing enough. It's not enough of a vassal state. It's not bombing Palestine. It should be bombing Palestine. They're saying things like that. And they are then talking about how maybe Egypt is an enemy. Maybe we need to bomb Egypt. Psycho shit. It's like Finkelstein said. It is a crazy state. It is a crazy state.
They want.
It would never be enough. It would never be enough.
All the hostages would be.
They could have concentration camps for Palestine, and Israel would be like, "Is Egypt holding up its end of the bargain?"
Be free. The third element I would add.
Concentration camps for Palestinians. You know what I mean?
Is that President Trump lately, in the last few days, said that there will be no release of hostages until, and I'm quoting him, until Hamas is defeated. So now we are face to face with a joint American-Israeli position that Hamas must be defeated in order to release all the hostages. So the game, as far as I'm concerned, the game has changed a little bit. So I'm afraid that whether Hamas has accepted what Israel was receptive to 1 month ago, I'm afraid it won't make a difference. Of course, personally speaking, I hope it would be different. I hope that the Israelis, the official Israeli position would be positive, that they would really express that they are satisfied with the Hamas change of mind, and they would be working in the context of this partial agreement. Of course, this is still a personal hope, and I'm sure many Palestinians and Arabs around the Arab world share my wish. But let's keep our fingers crossed, and let's wait. And I said earlier.
Oh, what a fucking garbage interview. This guy's not even involved in the negotiations, and they just got a guy on to say, yeah, fingers crossed that Israel accepts the ceasefire deal. Fucking nonsense. Anyway, let's see some news related to this. So do you remember what I was saying on the stream yesterday, chat? So this happened while I was streaming at 9:38 p.m. This might even have been the moment that I mentioned this particular thing. I said to everyone, didn't I? I said, the next few months, all we're going to hear about is how Israel is trying to bolster their troop numbers, and they cannot do it. Israeli military is considering recruitment in the US amid significant soldier shortages. From Disclosed TV. When did this come out? I don't know when this came out, but it's just wild. Israel's military faces a severe shortage of 10,000 to 12,000 troops, prompting plans to recruit youth, particularly from the US and France, targeting 700 annual enlistments. This strategy aims to bolster ranks strained by ongoing conflict, particularly since the Gaza war began in October 2023. The shortfall stems from ultra-Orthodox Jews' refusal to serve, despite failed efforts to end their exemptions for religious study. Existing recruits are dropping out, citing physical and psychological trauma from prolonged combat. Senior commanders per Mariv noted a 7,500 soldier gap, highlighting systemic issues. Recruiting abroad raises ethical and legal concerns, including questions of loyalty and foreign government policies. The military's plan reflects deeper challenges, such as declining reservist retention and equipment shortages, as operations like the planned 4-month Gaza City occupation loom. They are not going to do it. They are not going to do it, right? Do you think, chat, honestly, do you think exactly ICE and the federal military that is being deployed all over the United States because Donald Trump is like, I can see the empire collapsing. We're going to turn colonialism inwards, right? To regain control. We must prevent socialism at all costs. Yeah, extract money, extract wealth, keep it happening. And I think that they're going to have a hard time. I think Israel is going to have a hard time. Do you really think that they are going to be successful in recruiting people? Do you think they're going to be successful in France, even though France isn't doing any of the shit that the USA is doing? Do you think if you went up to a French person and was like, do you want to fight for the Israeli Defense Forces? No. 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 No, monsieur. I don't even want to fight for the French Imperial Forces in Mali. We were kicked out. We have no power anymore. It's best just to do socialism. This is the only way. Mélenchon. Viva, viva Mélenchon. La Front Populaire Nouveau. You know? Yeah, you know how it goes, Krill. You know how it goes. It's not going to happen. French person will be like, why are you speaking with a French accent? You're not French. Yeah. It's a good bit. No, it was a good bit, chat. It was a good bit. What's the tune? I think I have a command for this. Yeah, there you go. It's all in them mixes. I couldn't tell you the specific tune, Technomancy. There's the mixes that I use. What was the story of the Israeli guy getting upset because Europeans were judging him for being a former IOF soldier? I don't know, but I've heard of that, yeah. Almost nobody wants to fight for a country that's bringing them atrocity-filled scenes they see every day. It's so, like, you know. Anyway, so there you go, chat. We're just going to hear more and more of this. We are only going to hear more and more of this as this happens. Right? So, there you go. What else do we got? Anything else? Yeah, we got some good news. I know it's easy to think no one is doing anything. I think Steph put this in the chat yesterday. So thanks for bringing this to my attention, Steph. No, it's easy to think no one is doing anything, but protests like this are happening all over. The news doesn't cover it. Social media suppresses it, so you could think nobody cares, but so many people care. Also, look up LA Music Festival. It's been going on for months. This is workers at Microsoft. This was August the 20th, revolting at the company headquarters in solidarity with Palestine. More and more of these things are being suppressed by mainstream media. That is the reason that you're not hearing about them. Actions like this happen all the time. They are continuing to happen. They will continue to happen. And if you go outside and organize, you will get involved with organizations like this, and you will be part of doing actions as well. Take a look.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
They're making an encampment.
We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? End Israeli contracts now! End Israeli contracts now! We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? End Israeli contracts now! End Israeli contracts now! Azure's profits come from blood! Azure's profits come from blood! End the contracts one by one! End the contracts one by one! Azure's profits come from blood! Azure's profits come from blood!
That's it. That's it, Prince. Let's see those organize emotes.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! From the river.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. All right, next up we got Stephen Capos. Yeah, you need to be a sub. Those are my subscriber emotes. My dog. Speaking of which, please consider subscribing. Please consider subbing off Twitch. I've been streaming for 3 hours. There are loads of ways that you can support me. I have incentives for the sub goal. So we got a sub goal and a dono goal. The dono goal is currently at the halfway point. I just need another £300. Once we hit the £300 mark, I will be organizing a stream, a gaming stream, a co-op gaming stream with some other leftist content creators like Goblin Hugger and Aslan Silver, who are both streamers and they're leftists. And we'll play some games together, and that'll be fun. They're part of the community as well, so that'll be nice. And there's a space for another person there. I think it's going to be Murphy. So if we hit the £300... Whoa, Prince! Whoa! Whoa! With the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, Prince, for the 5 gifted subs. Andy from Ohio, Dying in Chat, Cuneiform Grift, Levantine, Chaos the Gardener. Enjoy your ad-free viewing. Enjoy your subscriber emotes. Thank you so much, Prince. That is really kind of you. Thank you so much. You didn't have to give that many subs. That's crazy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what that means is we have hit the sub goal. We have hit the sub goal for the month. What that means is that we have unlocked Trash Bingus for next month. So Trash Bingus, in case you don't know, yeah? In case you don't know, Trash Bingus is when I play bad games and people play along with Bingo. We have like a unique Bingus card and it's you play bingo and you win games. I give away 5 games every month. So that'll happen on the first Wednesday of next month. So not next week, but the week after. I'm pretty sure that's right, isn't it? Yeah, not next week, but the week after, the 3rd of September. And Krill with another gifted sub and a hype train on the go. And I said that we'd do it because Kevin Rowland was at the kneecap protest yesterday for the hype train. We're doing Come On Eileen. Let's go. YouTube VOD watchers, I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back. We just had a hype train. It was really good. We missed you, although it looks to you like nothing happened. Okay, yeah, we'll have a little read through of this in a hot minute. I'm just going to go to the toilet because I really do need to piss. Piss Boy gets to fill another jar. Yeah, I do. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Use this opportunity to stretch your legs. Yada, yada, yada. I'll be back real soon. Oh. Oh. Chat, I just nearly went arse over tit on the fucking green screen. Mental. It's hard to believe that some streamers have just straight up taken a piss during a stream, like stayed on camera and just pissed in the nearest thing. Who's done that? Who does that? What a terrible day to have eyes. What? What do you mean, Morgan? I do love this bit from Mr. Dan up in the chat here. You see, all my licorice lovers, Anise. I was thinking that when I was making the emote. The quartering did it on stream? No way. No way. Amazon delivery driver style streaming exists. Well, that's the thing, because Amazon delivery drivers like do it because they have to do it because they're not allowed toilet breaks. Soccer. The way you said that. It's so funny. Maybe their subs are paying for that. Yeah, maybe. It's hard to believe because I'm actively suppressing that knowledge. Thank you. Yeah. A pretty big streamer needed a piss in New York City recently, bumped into a fan, gave her his whole setup like, can you look after this so I can piss? And I love that level of trust. There is no way in hell that I would not do an IRL stream because of shit like that without like another person. You know what I mean? You can't just be like out and about and needing to piss and then you can't just like piss on stream. That would be crazy. That's crazy. Listen, chat, here's the cold, hard reality of what's going on right now. I don't think we're going to get into... I actually don't think we're going to be able to get time to watch Frederick Knudsen's new video because we're, like, coming up to 11 o'clock and that's when movie night starts. Imagine being on stream with a streamer's gear and knowing that if you run off with it, like 400 people are calling the cops at once. Yeah, but that you might not be savvy enough to know how many people are watching. right? If you're just some rando person who doesn't know how Twitch works, like Sophie's partner was telling me about what she thinks of my Twitch streams, like, because obviously, like, they live together and Sophie watches my stream, and Abby was saying, I watch your stream and it makes no fucking sense to me, man. Like, I have no idea what you're doing. I have no idea what you're doing, and I have no idea what your chat is saying. Your chat is saying, like, incomprehensible things. It sounded like what it must be like to like see a non-Euclidean thing, right? We could watch the video. I wanna talk about this Stephen Kapos thing. I want to talk about this quick because he's been on the news recently, and I think he's doing a good bit of stuff. Solidarity, I also don't understand Twitch. You're a chatter! What are you on about? You're the hype train conductor! You're a hype train conductor! Please don't trust me to let you piss. I can't handle the responsibility. I'll never do that, Prince. Don't worry. Me when software nerds talk. Naptaker says me neither. You're in a Twitch chat! What do you mean? What do you mean? What is happening? There are people in this stream who don't know what's happening. There are people who are in my chat who are like, I haven't got a fucking clue what's going on, man. This is my first hype train. I don't know what Twitch is, but I clicked the mule button. That's crazy. That makes me feel pretty special, man. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, Relogin, how you doing? The British wrote up that map. Wait, what? Oh, it's you again. Oh, it's you again. Hello. Yeah, you know what? I don't like any of the things that you've said to me over the last few months. I don't like anything that you've fucking said to me over the last few months, man. And you've already been banned in this chat. Like, you came into my fucking stream and you were like, hey, your friend secretly thought you were hot. Fucked up thing to say. I should have banned you then, really. And then you left the last stream saying it never looked good for MSNBC to be doing anti-Semitism when talking about Israel. Shalom. Yeah, no, you can't hide behind a Jewish identity here when you're talking about shit like this, dog. Yeah, sorry, man. You gotta go. Yeah, see you, pal. Insane. Insane shit. Does anyone from, like, Kira's community actually recognize that guy? Please don't call me man. I wasn't calling you man. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Anyway, fuck this fucking loser. Okay, London-based Stephen Kappas, who as a boy in Hungary survived the Nazi slaughter of Jewish people, appeared on GMTV's Good Morning Britain this morning to talk about Gaza. Remarkably, Kappas was allowed around 7 minutes, relatively uninterrupted, to talk about the Palestinian people and Israel's crimes against them. And as the clip shows, Kapos didn't hold back, comparing Israel's genocide in Gaza to the Nazis' Holocaust against the Jews. So let's have a look at this clip and see what he says.
I watched one particular program of the Security Council meeting where the Israeli spokesperson was about to start speaking and very theatrically put a yellow star on. And it made me feel sick because it was a misuse of the Holocaust.
What would you want them to do next now? What would you be saying?
With somebody who actually had to wear a yellow star.
This guy was going on an episode of Bad Hasbro. He's been on Bad Hasbro?
A misused symbolism. And as for Netanyahu, not long ago he made a statement, I think at Yad Vashem, to say that never again is now. And this is another clear reference to the Holocaust and misuse of the Holocaust. Because those who actually experienced it never again means something else. It means that never again perpetrating anything like that on any people anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, there it is, right? Like, if you are going to, after that, he was on ITV1, he was on Good Morning Britain. If you are, after that, going to platform any kind of Zionist piece of shit, right? There's just no redemption. There's like no redemption for that. It's actually like amazing that on Good Morning Britain, they had this guy on. That's crazy. That's crazy that happened. Never again do this to any people as a normal person reading. Yeah. As with other anti-Zionist Jews, Kapos' stand with humanity against Israel's genocide in Gaza has come at a personal cost, including police harassment, as the Starmer regime persecutes and tries to intimidate him. He marches in the London Palestine March like regularly. And I just want to take a little look at something. Okay. Because this guy's surname is Kapos, right? And that is eerily similar to a slur that Zionists use against. It's pronounced Kaposh, is it? Okay, fair enough. It's similar to capo, right? Which is a slur that Zionists use against Jewish people who are anti-Zionist. They call them capos, right? You fucking capo, this, that, and the other. A capo was a type of prisoner functionary. So it's referring to Jewish people who turned on the gas in the gas chambers. They were, whether voluntary or coerced, collaborators who worked on the Schutzstaffel to carry out administrative tasks or supervise the forced labor of inmates, being given an authority. Isn't it a mafia thing? No, it's mostly related to this, and maybe the mafia use it because of this, right? Like calling you a traitor, right? And I'm just wondering if, like, since the Holocaust, the term capo has become to use a pejorative in Jewish circles, characterized as the worst insult a Jew can give another Jew by the Jewish Chronicle. I mean, the Jewish Chronicle is another Zionist rag. So I don't know. Could come from the Italian word for head and boss, capo. According to Duden, it's from the French word for corporal. Journalist Robert McFadden believes that the word capo is derived from the German word Lagerkapo. It may be an abbreviation of Kameradschaftspolizei. Means a lieutenant in a cartel. Hey, Sentient Natalie, how you doing? No, that's capo regime. It's way older than the NSDAP. Gotcha. Many capos were subject to reprisal, including mass lynchings immediately upon the liberation of concentration camps. Yeah. All right, I was just having a look and seeing if it comes from a particular thing, and I'm only doing that because it is a regular occurrence that Zionists will, appropriate things and treat Holocaust survivors like shit. So I just had it in my head. I was like, was there a family of Jewish people who survived the Holocaust? Some of them perished in the Holocaust. Is there a historical name that is Kapos and this guy's related to them? I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, so that is that. Listen, chat, like I said, it's coming up to 11 o'clock, and we are doing movie night tonight in the Discord, right? So in 5 minutes, we are going to be starting Children of Men, and then later on, because it's a double feature movie night, thanks to Steph's clutch dono yesterday, we will also be watching The Death of Stalin afterwards. So we're watching incredibly serious, intense, revolutionary thing, and then after that, funny, haha, also kind of revolutionary thing. So we're going to watch that. So if you want to be in with watching that, and if you want to be in with joining our community just in general, join the Discord. Please, if you join the Discord, follow the rules in the channel that you land in the quarantine zone. Because a lot of people just click on that and they join the Discord and then they just like don't follow the instructions, and then we have to like tag you loads, and then you still don't get back to us, and then we have to kick you out, and then people are like, why was I kicked out of the Discord? So please consider following. If you're going to join for the movie night tonight, please just follow the steps straight away. The sub goal is also broken on this stream as well. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but fuck it. Them men's children's, yeah, that's what we're watching. So we're going to watch that literally in 5 minutes. So join me for the raid right now. Here's what we're going to do, chat. All of you who want to join us for the movie night tonight, click on the Discord link, yeah? Get added in Discord. And then join us for the raid, right? I don't want to see you just go to the Discord straight away and not join us for the raid. You've got to stay for the raid. And then, you know, support the raid target, and you know, follow if you haven't already, and you know, say hi and shit like that. Do the raid message, and then we can watch the film together, yeah? That's how we'll do it. That is how we will do it. Okay, so no, that's okay, Mr. Dank. I appreciate you going to the gym. Don't worry, but we're gonna watch movie night. It's gonna be fun. So we're gonna raid now. Let me just see who is live that I can raid. Hang on a hot minute. We are going to raid Complainy Laney. I have been meaning to raid and catch Complainy Laney for some time. Yeah, no worries, my dog. Sorry if there was a misunderstanding before. I apologize. Like, sometimes they say man like colloquially. And I'm not calling you a man. I'm just... You know, I apologize, but I'm going to try and do better. Judy says, no, I didn't miss the ceasefire stream. Welcome in. I'm literally Palestinian. This is my case. Well, I'm sorry that you missed it, but listen, you can check out all of my VODs. This will be uploaded on the VOD channel tomorrow. All VODs are uploaded a day after. You can check that out, you know. Redo. Appreciate you. Okay, yeah, so make sure you check out the VOD channel. In the meantime, you can also check out my YouTube. You can also check out my socials. I forgot to say words. Orcspecker, you are one of the people I'm referring to in the quarantine zone. You've not followed the steps. Please follow the steps in the quarantine zone in the Discord if you want to be added into the Discord and get access to it. Okay? Please do that. All right, check out my socials, check out my YouTube, check out my VODs, check out my Patreon. I got a bunch of extra content on the Patreon and more extra content coming soon. This is my last stream of the week, so you can catch me on the next stream, which will be Monday next week. Same Mule time, same Mule place, 7 p.m. UK time. And like I said, we are going to raid Complainy Laney. Oh, Complainy Laney. There you go. Oh, sorry. I spelled it wrong. Wait, hang on a minute. Let me just copy and paste from the channel. All right. Yeah, there you go. All right. That's how you do it. Yeah, copy the first message if you have the djmuel sub. If you don't, copy the second message. And the first message will look like that. If you've got the sub, the second message will look like that. We are going to go and raid Laney now. Join me for the raid. Say hi. Make sure you follow Laney. She's great. You like my politics. You'll like her politics. We are going to go and watch the film after that pretty much immediately. So say hi. You know, I don't know, lurk in the stream as well. That'd be nice for Laney. And we will be watching the films in the Discord. But thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the subs. Thank you for all the follows. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the people who just lurk. I do know that there's lurkers in the stream, and I really appreciate the lurkers. You're the backbone of Twitch. Thank you for the donos. Thank you, everyone, for all the support. It's been a really good stream, and I'm really glad that you're all here and you enjoy my content. Enjoy the other content that I've got for you via the socials and my YouTube and shit like that over the weekend, and I'll see you next week. Peace. Stay excellent to each other. Bye.